Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Today, we're going to look at an LPL game. Actually, yesterday, someone showed me a clip from this. I don't know if he's here in the chat. We saw a quadruple dive level 2. So I think that's as good a sign as any that this is a game that should be looked at. Let me just post, because we do have scrims today, but... versus Weibo Gaming. Boom, that's the schedule for today. So let's just get into the draft as always. As yesterday, do feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I'm going to try and make these a little bit more about stuff that will actually help, stuff in solo queue, things like that, rather than just the pro specific stuff or just the stuff that's like very team based. But of course, I can't know what kind of things you're wondering about. So make sure you write in the chat, if you are confused about anything. So they got much more. I like this this way of doing things. This side, like rather than like the LCK thing where you go from like in from both sides. So glad that we've got that here. One moment, just on the chat in case any of the players want to join. Cassante first pick with Rumble ban and Aurora ban as well. So actually a little strange from my point of view that you give up the Cassante here, but I guess because it's still 0.2, you can just trade it with the Jace. Then Jace Vi, very strong 1-2. Nocturne, not only really strong in the LPL, but very good answer into the Vi. And then the Nocturne Ori combo, which we've seen come up a bunch now. So good against like a mobile mages. So the way this works, if you want to take this into solo queue, this is something that can work really well. The way this works is you Nocturne ult, and as you fly, you Orianna ult, and then no matter where Nocturne ends up, that's where the spell appears. Do jump into a practice tool, try it with your friends, whoever you're going to duo with. Just make sure you get that timing right. It is an easy timing one, but it is still worth testing before you do it for the first time in a competitive game. But if you play in solo queue against like someone who has no dash, again, someone else who has no dash, this is like a one-shot combo that you can nail pretty much every time. So worth testing, worth trying, and definitely something that you can get some value from. Of course, Orianna may be not something that you can blind in solo queue so much, but still. Now, it's the same as we always say. You have this choice on red side. Do you go aggressive, take something that the enemy hasn't taken and double ban, or do you just answer? And instead they do. They go, ooh, so I don't know what they're going to do on 5 here. Because they're mid, they could have shown mid and taken counter support, but instead they go blind Rakan support. So if this is just a normal mid laner, I think you should top these round. I personally don't think Rakan is like so strong that you blind him. And the Xayah into Vi, always obnoxious, but if you take a poke champion here, then that makes Xayah's combo a little bit less. Okay, so this is weird. Right. So, right. It's probably going to... I was waiting. There you go. So, full AD top half of the map, and Kai'Sa will go AP, but I think probably Kai'Sa goes Kraken, right? Which means that armor value is just so high on the side of JDG. These three are for sure going to get unbelievably tanky, and everyone should be getting armor boots. There's literally no merc treads at all, so even like all these people should probably just get armor boots. Don't really like this. Getting Rakan blind just so you can take an Ambessa later on seems really strange. The other thing from Weibo is you use up all these 3 picks all at once. Now, these are very good dive buddies with the Kai'Sa as well, and the Rakan. Like, they've got a huge amount of dive. And Orianna's going to be in trouble, but the fact that they didn't ban, like, what... If you're going to do this, one of these has to be Xayah ban. Surely. It's not like if you ban Xayah here, you give away that you're going to 5th pick Ambessa and go full AD. I don't know. I don't like this from Weibo.
This feels like such a weird matchup to talk about. Just when we're looking at our mid laners, and we set up a lot on looking at Scout versus Xiaohu.
Really strange.
The Jace player compared to someone like Xiaohu. He has been, I think, more of a mid player, and I think one of our guesters, Bradley, really mentioned it, and I think that was a really great point to pull out.
Well, we'll see what happens in the game. So the things you need to worry about when we're talking about like full AD or full AP is this kind of 2 moments: is the value of boots, and then also the later stages of the game. And so that's why even if we have like, I don't know, an AP bot laner, we quite often have like, even if we do AD mid, you might have AP jungle or AP top. That's because any fight on the top side of the map, if you're full AD on boots, is going to be hard. And now, like Kai'Sa will threaten late game with AP damage. But I don't think you can go full AP nowadays. Maybe she does. Maybe she just goes full AP. But I think you still have to go like Kraken and stuff. So Nocturne, Death Dance, Ninja Tabbies, or like, I still call them Ninja Tabbies, plated steel caps, you know, those kind of things. Like that's always going to be just like super high value. And then Cassante will just be super strong always. Doing the lane swap. And also, Xayah's really good into Kai'Sa. So like, why is this not Xayah ban? I don't understand. Imagine if you're playing Ashe versus this dive. You just die over and over again. So with the swap, because Rakan and Kai'Sa will just get destroyed 2v2. Breathe gets to the lane. Let's see what they do in terms of the swaps. Nothing. Okay. I mean, they're not going to be able to dive Cassante, are they? The Cassante dive is so much harder than the Ambessa dive, so I don't know why you play it like this. I mean, even what they should do is wait, because that last tower shot is still stacked up. Here, what they can actually do is they can make this dive even better. They get this chunk now, and now they wait. Okay, so 36. They just wait a few more shots. It's not like Ambessa can get away. But this dive is so much harder. Okay, so they do get him. So it does end up being a trade. But as before, the trade is better for, and Cassante is just going to teleport back. This is just better for the Cassante. If they're both behind, it's better for Cassante. Because Ambessa needs more items, especially when he's got this huge extra efficiency bonus of playing against full AD. So like Iceborne Gauntlet, for example, that's just super gold efficient in the game, like compared to what it was. So your bruiser items are just as gold efficient as normal, but your tank items are way more efficient than they would be.
I think another key breaking point, which we'll be getting to very shortly, I'm sure, around the grub fight, is that level 6 mark, because that's where JDG's comp really turns on. That's also where Tien gets all of the setup he needs for his team. And we do see a little 2v2 kicking off the bottom. Big item wake up for Weibo on 2, especially we're talking about Jace. Once he hits 2 items, Tien even on 1 can be very powerful. So I like what you were pointing out, the level 6s here for JDG are just really impactful, especially if they're able to get out to missing. Okay.
They're going to try, and I mean, the 2v2 now is stronger. Like now Rakan has more levels. He's not just super vulnerable. It's just going to be about who gets 6 first, I think, on the junglers. At the moment, they're like Nocturne's a bit ahead. This is quite classic for the matchup. Nocturne does clear a bit faster, so he's now going to be 2 camps up, actually. Okay, if they don't get this dragon, like, this start is really bad, and I think they won't. Because this start just takes a lot of time. And I think Nautilus can, like, harass him off. No, maybe not. Okay, so they just trade for the grubs. Oh, Scout just whiffs. That would have been flash from Xiaohu for sure. Okay, he doesn't just whiff, right. So he tries to ult on himself and Xiaohu knocks him away.
there, but that's a bit unfortunate for Scout. You'll want that one back. And we did get the trade of objectives.
Oh, that was getting into the replay. Show
That
it to
was
you. Bradley,
a little rough.
whip up the clips. We're doing a mid lane review.
I'm trying to decide if he wanted to, like, flash, like, or something. I don't know. But hey, they're gonna find another gank. He's got paranoia this time. Xiao dodges the dredge line. Still gets feared. Shun wants to go for paranoia in there, baby.
Oh, no.
Twice in a row.
Okay, that is just wild.
We're doing a mid lane review.
So Nocturne does have the 6th advantage. So this window is really, really big, but Zhao, who still has flash. The hook just misses from nice Duke. Then he flashes, and it's a 2-for-1 trade, and also Scout gets half HP. Scout's literally just walked back to lane. Oh no, he hasn't. Okay, okay. At least Scout didn't base. I thought Scout fully based, and then he just walked back to lane and almost died to the tower. That's wild. That's not very good, though. Not only is the kill trade better for Weibo, they also get the flash from Orianna. Orianna gets chunked, so the wave is not in a good spot, and she has to stay and base, and then there's going to be this massive timing window. Stay and push, sorry, and then there's going to be the massive timing window. But also, like, your first Nocturne ult, you really want it to be, like, high value. And he flashes as well. Like, that's a disaster. Well, as a disaster as a 1-for-1 trade can be. It's not like actually, it's not. Could have gone worse, I guess. Could have more people died. Was Leona banned here? We're just seeing more Nautilus. Yeah, we're just seeing a bit more Nautilus than we used to.
They're both like the same thing, too. They're literally like the same animation in some ways. It's going to be really impactful, honestly, how they find and execute some of these lower health targets. But TN is the one that's scary to me. He has so much power on his buy, traditionally as well, but now here we save, and here we go. Paranoia already popped missing, losing all of his health immediately. And the season assist was saved into the last play caller. It is massive from FaZe. I thought that was a ruler play right there, but he's filling his shoes.
Oh my god. But this is the thing. Look how strong Xayah is. Imagine if this was Ashe. She's just insta-dead if it's Ashe. But instead, she gets so many feathers down, and they all get hit by them. And now Nocturne comes, and in the 3v3, but a 3v3 that you start off, and you start off with basically an insta-kill onto Nautilus, you still lose. And this is a big difference between LPL. I mean, it's a small thing, but there's a big difference here between like LPL and LCK, for example, is that Scout is already pushing and moving just in case this play goes longer and longer and longer. And they're both already coming. Whereas you probably know that you just get a kill and back out if it's a different region. And you'll see this in that dive that we looked at yesterday as well, right? Scout's already moving, even though they're just diving. Okay, so second grub's coming out, which is why everyone's here. And Bessa and Cassante both bot lane with TP. FaZe is playing really well with the edge of how fast he can push, which means that he does get that wave crash. And even though you've got an AD carry with no flash, no ult, you get all 6 grubs. So really, really good on the side of JDG. Like, very happy, I think, with the game state. Even though the goal is fairly close. Scout gets the base reset as well. Doesn't go for a second one because he knows Vi is going to be back out on the map. But does clear out the wave. It means the TP is going to be matched. And they're just getting 1v2'd. You could have banned this champ. Guys. You banned Ashe Varus. And Nautilus can roam because Xayah's just 1v2ing on the other side of the map. So Nautilus gets nothing, but they're going to get the dragon for it. I think Xayah is so high value in this game. He doesn't have ult now, though, so he is going to die. He's going to die, right? Oh, he does so much. Because, like, okay, the lane matchup after a few levels for Kai'Sa is okay, right? At the beginning, it's a bit nightmarish, but after a few levels, it's okay. But just the play pattern of Xayah, she wants this game to happen exactly as it's going to happen. And you already, from the way that they're picking and banning, I think they already know that they want this Ambessa on 5, and they want to just go for the full dive comp. And even without ult or any summoners, he does so much damage that they're going to be able to, they can't dive ally. Like, if it's any other AD carry, he dies much quicker, and Cassante can't come back here because they're all, like, full HP.
Public execution. There's the shockwave to follow through. Breeze getting low and low. He's going under turret. Now the turret's there to help him. Shun getting low. Now one more shot.
Oh.
There. Xiaohu.
Okay.
JDG are feeling at least a little bit more poised and focused when we've got. Oh god.
Oh, got the combo off with public
And I think if Nocturne gets Sterex and Death Stance, it's also very hard to kill him.
One more shot. The heal up is there. Xiaohu wants to make the difference. Scout doesn't have much.
Xiaohu comes down, no mana on Scout, so he's going to get a kill, yeah.
Xiaohu takes him down.
Shutdown as well, going over to Xiaohu. Our two mid laners having such an important role. We talked a lot about it from JDG's perspective, but for someone like Weibo,
But 6 scrubs means you're going to take 2 plates. Scout is there to stop the 2 in response, with missing coming down. And you're going to lose tower damage on the top side as well. Nah, then they get first tower too.
JDG finding massive gold advantages early of a very even game as well. We have first item completed. Breeze off the back. Bala honestly not super confident in taking that fight, even with the health differential, just because of what Kasante can do. And I really love the top of the back. We'll see if the reset from Weibo gets them on more even playing field.
My big criticism for JDG in the past like 2-3 weeks while we were waiting has just been the fact that this team does not know if they want a team fight or if they want to collect waves on side. There's usually someone picking up gold, picking up resources, but then we're just starting a fight and we're down numbers. We're starting an objective and we don't have everybody in position. Feels like at least in this first game, they have a goal in mind. They're playing within what they're able to do and also able to escape a lot of the plays. Maybe part of the vision that missing is being able to grab for them as Scout has flash, has ultimate.
Okay. Double dive. I mean, that's so obnoxious though, right? Like, the double dive buddies just from miles away. Undodgeable. Double bounce, bounce, bounce. I think you have to flash. You have to flash straight away. But I can understand why he doesn't. And Rakan is also going to come in as well. Like, you have to flash here. You have to flash here. Like, you have to get under tower already in range of Nocturnal. So Jun just goes in and dies. That's a something.
Okay, missing, just getting chunked immediately. Tien just finding constant action here. And a big piece of the puzzle that we were talking about going into this one is Tien and Xiaohu in their combination. But
So they're going to get the tower top, which was in return from, you know, getting the tower previously.
But this was a test of strength. This was, I want to see what you got in your last series here before playoff.
Got a lot of games, right? Best of 5. We're making a re-engage. Now Scout can't be here. He's gonna move eventually. He finishes the Seraphs.
Oh, that's a lot of damage from Jun. They go in though. The rip already taken by Weibo. Nice little blade collar right back, get some damage down. Hung, try to go over the wall, does end up making it. They do pick off Tien though, and that was pretty massive. We'll get that Rift Herald for Weibo.
Another criticism that I've had towards JDG is Scout feels like a really big point-of player right now, which sucks to say as a player that has so much tenure and I think has brought so much honor to the LPL with the World Championship and his multiple Worlds appearances. But in LPL so far this
Okay.
feels like he's really hot and really cold.
So again, I still think very good situation for JDG. Ooh. Ooh. Brutal. Wouldn't Scout die regardless? Hey, morning. Hey, Kurgan, thanks for the sub. Guten Morgen, that part, that I can understand. I might not speak German, but that I can understand. Wouldn't Scout die regardless? Yeah, I think probably. But the point is that he flashes afterwards anyway. It's always hard to make those like split-second decisions.
We see that play here. Weibo getting the latter half. But you bring that up, but honestly, it's a sad fact to say that was also what was happening on LNG. He would play the side lane, try to get as much gold as he possibly could, try to carry the game.
Okay.
Half time it worked, half time didn't. That's why we saw a little bit of
Still, I think it's a good game state. You've got the Mountain Dragon as well. I don't like... Okay, Kasante's got the memo. I don't think... Do you just get so much value from like all this ability haste that you need to? Is there not ability haste then? Like, can he not go also Iceborne if it gives you a good... No, Iceborne's shit, actually, forget that. But there's still no armor on Nocturne other than base armor, which I think is really silly. And Kai, okay, so Kai'Sa has gone for more, like, not full AP build, but like more, she's going to now go Nashes. She hasn't gone the Kraken as well, which is what I was a little bit kind of worried about. Because this at least does magic damage already. But still, I think, versus full armor team, why is Kasante the only one with armor? Because you just get so much value from like Death Stance, for example, or just play to steel caps. Maybe I'm wrong, but the way that I would think about this is if bruiser armor items aren't strong now, then these items are just broken, you know. But I think probably they are. Like it's like if you're buying a heal reduction item when the enemy has no heals, that means that the heal reduction item is broken. Like there's a problem. Okay. Kasante very, very strong.
they just kind of burn it. No, I mean, they get the TP up there as well. Xiao Hu will just take his pity prizes. Things have already come out.
So they get the kill and they just get the Atakan from it. They're going to trade 2 towers or maybe even 3 towers for the Atakan. So I like this. I like seeing this trade because I don't know if it's worth it here. They 3 towers for Atakan. So you were going to get 1 anyway. So maybe you could say 2 towers for Atakan, but it's an outer tower as well for Atakan. So now you just don't fight. You just don't fight now, and you're hard winning on this play. Yeah, and Weibo just pull away. So I actually like that. Okay, let's look at how they actually play around this. So here, like JDG are on the bot side. They're hard pushing this tower. They go for the top kill with Pays. And now here they just all recall and leg it to Atakan. And Weibo don't even for a millisecond try and do anything other than just hard shove. Now they know they're on it. Vi just runs instantly into the jungle. They kill the tower. They take all the camps and they kill the other tower as well. Yeah, so they just like no one even goes on this area of the map. And this is the thing that we don't see. We don't see in like LEC especially. Like in LEC, people are just like it's sitting around, and you can make the argument that maybe Vi or if Rakan's up, you can stay there just to if you're buying more time by fucking with the enemy than you would. Okay, that was terribly explained. Let me try that again. So this time they send literally no one anywhere near the Atakan. From as soon as Atakan starts, as soon as they know Atakan's starting, no one goes on that side. They just play really hard on this area of the map. So as soon as this recalls come in, you'll see them all leave. And Vi just covers mid, then comes across and takes camps because he knows he doesn't need to be there for the tower. Now, almost always in other regions, especially LEC, we'd have people around like trying to stop them and those kind of things and maybe dying straight afterwards. But the one argument that you can make to go up here if you're like Rakan or something like that is if you slow them down enough that you buy more time than what you would have done, if that makes sense. So if Rakan goes to hit towers, he's going to do like, okay, this much damage. If Rakan slows them down by a couple of seconds, the extra damage that we get from the other people is worth it. So sometimes where you see people walking up and contest, they're not actually contesting, they're just trying to stall and they're doing it so that they can maximize the tempo. So it's not always the same as just like watching an objective die. It's not quite as simple as we often make out when we're like, for example, when you're casting, you can't analyze what they're doing often. But that's something to bear in mind. So that's something that you actually can do as well, like in your games. Hey, say so. The fee upgrade of plated steel caps is really good as well. Yeah, you get the shield, right? And they have the upgrade. I think this is weird, and it's going to be Sterak's, and I think Sterak's is great, but the value of Sterak's when you have armor is so good in this game because he still doesn't really do much AP damage. Like he does some, and even if he does, everyone else is doing AD damage to you. Like, luckily, no one's lethality. If it's lethality, Jace, you have to get armor. But still, I think it's tough. Yeah, so in this Atakan, actually, Weibo, I think, are up still. And if they just clear waves, it's not going to be around for Baron. This is actually, I think, a good trade for Weibo. They're going to take mid tower, I think, JDG. And you can't defend this, but that's okay. So in a game... Oh, okay, there's the combo. So here's the combo again. Like I said, I think this one actually you can just take into your solo queue if you're duoing with the... Do they whiff it though? So the thing that's so obnoxious is you take the ball out of ball range. I think it's too early maybe. Doesn't seem to hit there. See, it does take a little bit of practice, I think. Okay, how does this fight go? So they're fighting. I don't know if the Atakan buff is about to wear off. Is this saying it's about to wear off? 20 seconds. Jun is really low. Tian is caught as well. Oh, as all my screens go black. They're going to go black again. Sorry. I don't know if it goes black on the stream or not, but basically my teleprompter, I don't know why, but sometimes it just turns itself off and then it has to reconnect everything like it's a second screen. Anyway, so Jun is low. They've got 10 seconds left on this. So if the fight starts, people will start actually dying. So now GAs are down, and they get them all. Oh no, okay, Ali. Okay, so it ends up being 3 for 2. They didn't. Did they kill someone before with the res as well or not? So Jun is already low. Pays is a little bit low. So that's why we're starting to look, and the GAs are falling off fairly soon. Oh yeah, and also Orianna and Nocturne are down. So another reason to engage. I think it's hard because if you try and die, if you play like you try and die, they'll play like they are not trying to kill you. Like they won't kill you because it's so close to the end. I think when you've got like this few seconds left, you have to just play as if you don't have it. And if you don't have it, I don't think you come here. I think with both those ults down, I think you just, now you have to play like you don't have it. Unless you get this fight instantly, you don't have it. So Tian insta goes on to that. It's really weird to see what actually happens here. He just gets like one tapped. He loses half his HP here, but then it's like all the burst. Oh, it's because Nocturne, Nautilus ult hits him, so he's stunned, and then he gets all the burst as well. And Scout flashes away, but Pays is in the middle of everybody, and so there's much less value on the Feather Pool. The Feather Pool hits no one because Breathe jumps to the other side of it, and Light's able to clean up on that side. So they just look so aggressive. As soon as those cooldowns are down, they're just insta going. They've got like 10 seconds left on the cooldown, they just go. Like if you could die before Atacam wears off, definitely it's better. But I think if you like run in, and then Xiao who flashes away. So like the really big thing is because they're able to come from like multiple different directions here. If you look at where the feathers end up, he's had to throw some feathers this way to kill Vi. Like there's someone down this way. Then he's going to ult back down that way. He's going to flash this way, and then when he pulls all the feathers in, it doesn't hit anyone because Ambessa just so that they all come back this way, but Ambessa doesn't even get hit by them. So he's got the armor memo, but Merc treads into this comp. He's trolling, no? What even is Merc treadable? What? Nothing from Vi tenacity doesn't matter. Nothing from Ambessa tenacity matters, right? Knockups, it doesn't reduce. Knock up again. Some AP, a little AP damage. Knock up again. Charm. Yeah. But the charm is still long enough that you can't get out of the W if you've got Merc Treads. That is wild. That cannot be. That again, if someone could prove me somehow wrong in the maths in this game, this cannot be right. I just feel like if it's right, then something's broken about this game. I think it's definitely wrong. There's no way. There's just no way. I mean, if you want the Ambassador, get Swifties, you know.
Also, third item for light.
I think if you go
We're gonna have a little bit more magic damage into that.
Death's Dance
We see JDG forming up around the barrier.
and Sterax, it's super obnoxious.
Coming in from draft, whether or not Weibo were gonna be able to play the tale of two styles.
But at the very least,
All in on this dive strat.
even if you think these two items are so broken that we just have to get them,
Coming in, can be a bit cheeky and sing some Raptors on a tight
then
but
you've
if
got to
it's
get
all
steel
on
caps,
top,
surely.
where can Weibo get vision, and how are JDG gonna be able to walk in blind when they're really just trying to contest on mid waves?
Yeah, I mean, there were pings onto the barrier for Weibo. Don't expect that to be started up, maybe with the transition of map power coming through here, JDG.
And this is the thing that's annoying, is that I would want to see in this game, like, can you actually draft Kai'Sa as your only AP nowadays? Because sometimes you could, when it was like the W poke, like Rabadons and stuff, Kai'Sa, which you will get later on, I guess.
Similar to each other, but you really wanted to see a little bit more damage here from
But
Weibo. Haven't kind of gotten that 2v2
I have no idea now, because they didn't
if JDG want a chance to be able to
build
they need to be able to get this
any armor. So either JDG already think it doesn't work, and they've played against this a lot, or they're just default building, which is very common, obviously.
One big paranoid shotgun combo, and that's it. JDG.
How would you coach a situation, approach a situation where a player makes this kind of questionable build choice? It's a good question, actually, because I don't think we have a good way at the moment at Nord of approaching like build and changing builds and stuff like that. At the moment, we have someone who's working part-time, obviously, but working primarily on builds and patches and champions. But we still haven't got a good system for it. I think the best thing to do in a pro team where you have like loads of money, or let's say you had enough money, I think the best setup for coaches is to have individual coaches for every role who also do other things. But that individual coach in that role should have a good enough relationship that straight after a game like this, you can say like, you need to have some armor or something, or like we need to have gone differently here. Because that person not only needs to be able to point out where they're making mistakes, but actually work out and teach them how they can not make those mistakes in the next time. Because it's not just good enough to say, right, in this game, you should go Ninja Tabbies, or let's work out in this game if we should have actually gone like a Death Dance and Sterex or something like that, or like how good are these two items that are very good in most games, but when you're playing against, at that time, 80-90% physical damage and no tenacity needed, there might be a way to work out that kind of thing. But the main thing is you're never going to have this exact draft again, probably in your entire career. So how do you work out, or how do you teach the player to respond better in those situations is much more important than just telling them they're wrong. So a lot of places, analysts do that kind of work. And for me, I think it's always better if a coach does it with help from an analyst who can be helping every single role, but a coach who really knows that player and has that relationship. For example, for me, if I'm coaching the whole team, I don't really want to be quote unquote wasting my time, especially in reviews, talking about item choices with one individual player. But it's a good question. I don't think anyone has a good way of doing it. So game's still very even. 3 dragons. Now Kai'Sa W poke is starting to do a lot as well. Triple black cleaver from the side of Weibo as well.
It's crazy how far Scout is behind in terms of his item completion. I do like that heads up though in terms of like all TF
He stacks up so fast, but no one even has very much armor.
Dragon is coming up in 30 seconds. It is soul for Weibo, and they find Shun.
And now Jun just gets one shot here. Does he just waste his W on something? What's he W? They see that he's been seen. Doesn't W. Doesn't W. Doesn't W this. Okay. Does he just think, like, I don't know. I don't know. Does he think he wouldn't dare go on me? No, you lose soul? So it's just these quote unquote easy dive comps where you just can all press on one button on someone. It's just so obnoxiously good. Ooh, Xiaohu. The Dukes. That's just going to be over. I didn't even slow down this fight because it's already just really hard right there. If they have to contest, so they lose Soul. Now, well, it's 4v5. They lose Scout and they lose his Zhonya's. And then they also lose... No, they lose Ale ult. So now it's 5v3. Nocturne is coming, but doesn't have... Oh, no, did ult. He didn't. He died before he ulted, so at least there's that. Okay, maybe this was bugged because now it says it's coming back up. but they just insta-go for the fight. It's nice juke from Xiaohu. Goes up one way and back down the other. Yeah, and then this is going to be like the end, I think. Poor Pays. Yeah, he's got an insane pick. He's playing it well. That's a very I mean, he just doesn't W the Ambassador roll, and I don't understand why. Yeah, and Ale's just pushing mid-wave. It's still very close in terms of gold. So it's still winnable, I think. Nautilus and Cassante have the armor. Okay, so now they hit the combo. Second time's the charm. Only the second time in the game, by the way. I guess, okay, look, here's my best argument for why you don't need armor on Nocturne, is that in the fights, normally, the people who are actually going to get hit are Nautilus and Cassante, and so they need the armor. And Nocturne really wants to just dive on someone and kill them and die. And so he wants to make sure that he has Merc Treads so that the charm gets slightly slowed and Kai'Sa does less damage because he could be jumping on Kai'Sa the whole time. But I think before 30 minutes, you would have been way stronger going anything else. So now that's the actual combo.
God, this champion, man, it could do everything if you just press the buttons right as JDG forced to contest, forced to go.
Yeah, a little bit later. I mean, that one's actually a bit late. I think you have a bit of time to go away, but maybe not. So they do use two tools, though. So it's not like they're super duper strong now. Ale just does die, and now it's difficult. So Pays just getting zoned away by Vi, and also solo killed by Vi, AD carry in 2025. You just get easily solo killed by the enemy jungler at 33 minutes. It's a tragedy. That's going to be the end. Okay, so game one done. I think the really big thing was just like the ease of the comp. So yeah, Nocturne just should have W'd the Ambassador roll, but also when you get into these later stages, it is hard to play. Okay, first pick Nidalee for Jun. Now that Vi and Nocturne are gone in the jungle. Jack's first pick. That's wild. It doesn't tell me what patch this is. But considering Mel is down, I'm thinking it's 1.2. Okay, so this is where you flex the Jacks to support. Boom. And you take Ornn. Okay. Is it blind pick Lucian mid? You have to ban the Nami, right? So these two, so much set up for Nidalee, really, really strong. Jack's actually good into both, though. Wow, it's still Renekton early on. It's not like Jax wins. But if you can block both stuns. And we ban two mids. I think you have to ban Nami just in case it's Lucian Nami bot, right? Because you could take a different AD on 4, and then it can either be Lucian Nami on 5, or it can be whatever this AD is if it can't go mid. Problem is you can't, like Lucian, okay, so it is going to be Lucian mid, probably. Because you can't really, like Lucian, they're talking about Lucian flex, but for me, Lucian is not really a flex, because Lucian without Nami, I think, unless it's Lucian Braum, I guess, you could also do into Leona, maybe. Actually, Lucian Braum and Ziggs bid is not bad here. If this is MF. Or you just still take Braum and you play it with Ziggs.
Hey, it's good into someone like the Zyra. Into Ziggs, I think you're playing a bit of a risky game here. So Scout on the way has a bit more support potential there as being able to empower the rest of his team.
Oh, this would be so banger. If I'm a JDG fan, I am terrified right now, but I would love to see it. For Weibo,
Ooh.
I think they need a little bit more
Pike would be fun. So, we talked about this before. Ziggs is kind of like Ezreal, but obviously not at all. So that was a terrible way to phrase that. You can use in the draft Ziggs AD like you can sometimes use Ezreal, where he's going to have TP. Once he gets Lost Chapter, your support can just roam. So you can look at Ziggs Pike and say, like, who are they solo 2v2 killing? Like, why are you taking Pike if you can't fight aggressively in the lane? But you take Pike to just permanently roam around in competitive. We very rarely draft in competitive. You see 2v2s who are just like designed to be super strong 2v2s. Like, as in those are things that are more like, I don't know, Leona and something rather than... Huh? Don't know what this is. Okay, did we miss all this level 1? Okay. 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 So it is going to be Lucian mid. Lucian Zyra. With only Corki gone. As other mid laners. Corki was banned, right?
So awesome. I love that LPL players are so willing to try to get some info out to the Western. Yeah, thank you, Patty. Showed up. JDG, we might have another one, baby. Let's go, let's go. Anyways, JDG going for early pressure here. In this level 1, they go for the chicken nuggies for Shun. Xiao Hu has moved over. Missing, getting low, get hit back.
Okay. It's spicy already. So JDG go forward and invade. They want to deny the plants and they want to take away a camp. They take away the big camp, but they die. So both sums for hang on, no flash, like missing didn't flash. And now it's going to be both bot lane is top. So the swap coming through and cooled. Do they both just cool this?
Really thankful. And please go check out our interviews. It's so awesome. I love that LPL players are so willing to try to get some info out to the Western. Yeah, thank you, Patty. Showed up. JDG, we might have another one, baby. Let's go, let's go. Anyways,
okay.
Go for early pressure here. In this level 1, they go for the chicken nuggies for Shun. Xiao Hu has moved over. Missing, getting low, get hit back.
Yeah, they banned the Yone themselves, right? Yone and Victor on 4-5. But I just meant like 80 carries. So they go other than like Smolder, we take an LEC because we assume the game's going to last for ages and we can't play Lucian. Yeah, so I don't actually know who's like going for the swap and who's calling it really in this game. I'd have to talk to Matt and Eric about that. Because I think it's probably more about the bot lane, right, than the top. If you can deny Renekton, it's really good. So, but it seems like both these lanes are actually working out for Weibo in the early stage. So,
but honestly, like if you're seeing Pike get kills early, that's a little bit scary as this champion definitely wants to snowball and get active onto the map. It's so funny though. I love to see Light picking up the Ziggs. I know we were talking about JDG maybe wanting that one as he's putting down some serious damage. He was one of the better Ziggs in 2024, right behind Gala. It felt like in a lot of those situations, also stealing away from JDG.
And also the swaps when you have teleport is always going to be useful, right? Because you are moving around the map much more. Whereas teleport, if you're just they're so nearly dead. They just play always on the edge. But now Tian is coming this way, so that's why they can. So one of the things that for example, in XL, one of the things that Dahan used to say, like, expect, is that when the jungler's pathing to you, that's when you monkey trade. So if both people are low and our jungler's there, that's better than both people being full HP. So everyone's low, but Tian is the one coming. So it's good that they're all low, because nice flash E from Tian, and he gets both. And that, of course, the bot lane is the top, but that works in solo queue too. You just, if your jungler is pathing towards you, especially if you know the enemy is not pathing towards you, you can both trade, you just get them low. But it's much easier for the jungler to come in and make a big difference.
control that he's been able to provide in that last game was insane from him as well on the buy. Hung's getting caught out a little bit as he walks back into lane. Nothing else there. The objectives are on the map here out. We'll see where their priorities lie.
So Tan could have started at the Dragon, but it looks like they want to try to get some early grubs. Rightfully so for Weibo, you are playing a team with a Ziggs, so it makes sense. Missing no longer has the Zenith Blades, maybe they're trying to play off of this, but you see Weibo putting two people in mid, they push out the wave. Scout's not going to be here.
JDG is in a lot of trouble. Xiao did just perm the calling. They're trying to get damage on Tian.
Okay, let me jump back and see that properly. So they're all still top lane. They go back top for the grubs. You can't now go bot because grubs are always going to be like higher value.
So Tan could have started at the Dragon, but it looks like they want to try to get some early grubs. Rightfully so for Weibo, you are playing a team with a Ziggs, so it makes sense. Missing no longer has the Zenith Blade, so maybe they try to make a play off of this, but you see Weibo putting two people in mid, they push out the wave. Scout's not going to be here.
So they get one. Scout's got no mana, but he is able to just ult. And Pace just dies? How does Pace die? What actually? Okay, right. He gets hit by a Ziggs thing as well. I couldn't see the Ziggs bomb. I was like, how is he? He takes like a little bit of the culling and then he's really low. No, he doesn't get hit by a Ziggs thing. Am I blind? What does so much damage to Pace? Oh, he gets snared. Right, he gets snared from Tian, and it's because it's purple in the bush, and because of these graphics I couldn't see it. Then the plant is just chunking him as well. Now Hyang comes. He has no flash, so he just dies. Zyra does die as well though. So it's going to be a 2v2.
And you can't follow the Cougar to the jungle, but maybe Hung wants to try. Light looking for an angle there as well. Does not have that level 6 just yet. Shun moves around the corner. He's prowling around, but I think Hung's got a little bit more movement speed.
I mean, if that spear hits, I don't think he actually does. Okay, maybe he does just win this. Hung's just the absolute psychopath, by the way. Okay, so they are going to get all the rest of them as well. So they one-shot Tian, but Tian still gets a bunch of damage off. He doesn't ult though, which is a really big deal. They managed to get on him and just one pop in before he can ult. Or he didn't have it, maybe. He had it after he was dead, but I don't know if that was because he got XP off the first kill. Which is a bit of a tragedy then, because if they'd have got one void grubs, he would have got 6.
Yeah, I think so too. Do we feel like top laner's gonna have the same influence that they did last game this time around? I don't know if they have the auto win buttons anymore.
Yeah, Jax has a more.
But the thing is like Nidalee, Wei, and MF as well. Like you don't really need to engage onto the Zyra. And MF, of course, is better at killing Zyra plants, not as much as he used to be when she was the support counter pick into Zyra, but.
Xiao plans to have on this Lucian mid. I know they needed AD damage, but this is not a pick that you like to play from behind in a lot of cases.
Is this Blade of the Ruin King? No, so that's a Retrix, so... I'm trying to figure out what goes on with Retrix and... Oh! Is he going like... I hope this is not Blade of the Ruin King.
Hey!
Yuck! Ew!
Let the man cook, alright?
I mean, sure, man. They did buff this item, sure, man. Whatever. We'll get our mid lane enthusiasts. I'm sure Bradley their share of
they're either malding or very happy. One of the two. Can be not.
We do have, I think, the grubs really importantly coming up in a minute, and while JDG obviously can be playing for a set where they get the Void Mites, and turn damage here into enhance for someone like a Ziggs who really hasn't been able to get all that much done.
Okay.
Not really been in their favor. We're gonna stay with these guys.
So again, very even game. I mean, these teams are both like very evenly matched. 3 grubs for Dragon.
Showing him there means that a little bit of information goes the way of JDG. Resets coming out towards this top side of the map for this grub fight. It would just be another marker into the stacking of JDG's piece of strength.
This is Leandri's Nidalee.
Grubs, even though it didn't really matter in that game one. I think that's huge for this team comp.
Lucian going what? Kraken is this build? Oh, but he gets Yahoo going over the wall. Yeah, today's scrim's at start at 6, so 5:45 is the pre-scrim. And it pulls them in. But this is where like Zyra is really strong when you're coming forward. Paze is okay. I mean, Paze loses. Like, what is this? This is the most aggressive AD carry route I've ever seen. He's so fast, he could just run up river. But instead he runs around. Like he wants the zone Ziggs away, but now just run down river. because as he's halfway there, he now has Ziggs behind him, and now he has to just... Now he loses Flash and dies. It all just pays, right? That was going to be 1 for 1, and then MF just ran in. So they deny the feet, at least. Ooh. So Lucian dies with the dive. But then Pays is just in the complete no man's land. And then he flashes straight in a straight line. It's a tragedy. And like you say, he played so well last game and lost. This game, he just choked that first fight. So it's 4 for 2 on the Grubs. So they do have the 4 at least, but no next stack of the feet. Now they can just throw shit at people under the tower.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like you forget that this guy will warp a game. Now Weibo looking to collapse and warp the game on a JDG. Maybe take the lead here. Is missing is completely CC'd out. Read goes for counter-strike. Nice forward play.
Oh! I mean, LPL Leona players, by the way, they just don't miss a single opportunity ever. He's literally dying, has 2 people chasing him. Light isn't even flashing this because he doesn't think that he's the target, because literally 3 people are chasing down Leona. But the insta-turn. Okay, Syra ult comes through. I think I did the scrims thing. It's against the ND, but I think I did this. Hey, there you go. Except from the there's no space there, so I've updated it. I'll try and remember to do that every day. So if you want to know about scrims, you can use that command now. I mean, this turn is so clean. And then Renekton's coming from behind. Now it's 2v3. Oh, good. Goodness me. LPL games. And literally, as the replay's over, I have no idea how, but there's another fight happening. Oh, he jukes. Oh, he jukes. Oh, he jukes. Okay. So Shun gets a really high-value spear. I mean, this Lucian has not looked super strong. Maybe it'll change. Oof. Okay. That misses. That jukes. And then he's going to hit, if he throws it into the middle of them, he's going to hit someone. Oh my god, they're just, the replays are so long. And now they're instantly fighting again. I have no idea how they're fighting again.
And I'm going to ask you straight up, do you remember that Shun was the piece of BLG that got them help over into the finals? Yes, they lost, but this guy has been building up his story, claiming championship for BLG, and now
and now this like range. I really like the way, and I quite like the MF as well. Although I think he could have just gone Braum maybe, but... Okay, so this time we actually get to see the setup. So, because they push in and go to one side, and they kill the tower already... Leona drifts this away, and basically because they commit resources on this side and they now have to base, instantly you see Weibo all go down to this side of the map. So they don't go in slowly, they don't check for vision and stuff, they literally just rush this because enemy committed resources on the other side. So if they get out, that's really good. So yeah, they use summoners, but they get out, they get, not only they get the dragon, they get a bounty, they slow everything down. Yeah, missing is a psycho. Missing and on, just... Actually, most LPL supports, they're just built different. They literally do not care for a split second about their KDA. They're just going to go forward and threaten, and if they just buy a little bit of space by being there and then die, they just don't care. Okay. Let's look at this one. So they do get another bounty, but they're so far behind. Wei stops him, but Xiaohu is coming up as well. Sorry, not Xiaohu. Jun. Oh, and Xiaohu too. Nice snare. Gets the Zhonyas. This ult is insanely good from Leona. Tian dies, but missing does die as well. So they get the execution and they also get the pike damage. He's got so much stuff to dodge. Okay, he doesn't even get a chance to. And just on all these stuns, like you can Leona ult, you can spear, you can Wei combo. I really like this. I really like this comp from JDG. We're not going to play it because we're definitely not going to play Nidalee or Renekton. But I like the idea. Could play Jace and stuff and do it, I guess.
If there's ever like a pro play, pro team that we can grab, in terms of review for this game, I just want to see what happens between Ala and Brady. I feel like we spend a lot of time focusing on our bottom lane, but I want to see.
Okay, and Pace chases away light.
This annoying Renekton. Talk about the draft. I thought that some of the melee champions were going to have some issues, especially with the Ziggs and the Zyra, but Ala feels right at home in this game, and he has now, I think, reached a point in the game now with the Sterak's as well, with the upgraded Bertrand. He is near unkillable. Scout, that's okay. I'm going to just pretend that I got taken with the Otacon buff.
Yeah. So you get a free pass at any level of gameplay if you have Otacon GA on you. Don't worry, you can miss it.
So we're probably going to look for the dive, and Zhao, who's just hard split pushing. Zyra does get one, but they trade back very favorably, even without the Ascan. And Zhao, who just has to keep shoving, I think. He can't. If he's there, he just dies as well, so... They're going to lose 2 inhibs, probably, if they loop back round after this. No, Ziggs can clear one wave, actually. Because they don't have Baron, they don't have that, actually, like, the waves that are, like, enhanced, right? So, even though they're super, super strong...
Which, to be fair, has been really nice for them, obviously, but I don't think it matters in a lot of grand scheme of things. He's missing. It's just walking at people. Now he's going for the sword left yet. He gets locked out again. And
I mean, feels so bad to flash this. I don't think you need to because you're not fighting this dragon anyway. Yeah, so I think you just save your flash. You're 9k down. Like, you have to play really hard on certain windows, and so you have to all have flash at the same time.
And one thing that you should know, if you're ever wandering out in the wild,
6-0 tension, 6-0-8 scout. That's not bad. All of Weibo's kills are on JDG's bot lane. Yeah. Top side just so far ahead. And this is what you want from these drafts, even though they didn't really like play super hard on the Renekton. The thing is that you just know there's going to be skirmishes in LPL games, and so Renekton's much stronger. Whereas in other games, there's not necessarily. So he is just like a lane champion in most regions. But in like 3v3s, 2v2s, even now at this stage, he's still really, really strong. I mean, he's quite strong in 5v5 as well if he gets in the backline. Oof, that's so, like... Yeah, he has GA as well. But like the combo of Renekton with Leona ult coming in. I think Leona's really broken. That's why I was a bit shocked that they didn't go Leona in the first game. I mean, this Lucian has looked kind of useless, but I did want to check what he's got as runes. Okay. I still thought they would try... is that Jack of all trades? I still thought they would try the ult thing on Lucian. I don't know exactly how it works. But in this first game, I'm really confused why they don't go Leona. Is it just because it's into Rakan? Do they want to save Leona for next game? Maybe? Okay. Well, either way, going into game 3. Can you give after the game your thoughts or a deep dive, if possible, about mages in bot lane, current meta with lane swaps? Mages push like towers and stuff much slower early, and when they don't have levels, they're a little bit worse in swaps. But I do think mages in bot lane can be really good, especially later on, because there's just not that many AD carries. There's not that many AD carries who are that good as well. But a lot of teams don't really do it. And so especially if you're in situations where, okay, your Corki goes mid and you've got Lucian now going in mid, and you sometimes have Smolder going in mid in other regions, you are starting to pinch the AD carry pool quite a lot. So I do think stuff like Swain, especially in the right team comp, or Victor or other mages, I think can be really good in bot, and like Ziggs and stuff as well. Ziggs is a bit different because he pushes towers really fast, and because of his passive, and then because of his W, of course, as well. So he can clear waves fast and push waves. So mages, they're all quite different. Like to say what Syndra would do in bot lane versus what Victor would do in bot lane or anything like that. But a lot of them have this thing of, when I get lost chapter, I can just clear waves and then the support can just move. So that can be really useful. But it depends on the comp as well. I thought we would see more mages, I have to say. Like with Fearless coming in and with AD carries not being in the best state, I thought we would see more mages, but we haven't yet. You'll probably see a lot of Seraphine as well. Potentially. I think with the right kind of teams, I think in the right regions, I think Seraphine is better. The worse the game is, Seraphine is better. So not like that, not necessarily as in she's amazing in bronze. I mean, like in ERLs, I think she's better than she is in LEC, and in LEC she's better than she is in like LCK or LPL. So this game, Varus Ezreal banned, Kalista Ashe banned. So again, because there's not very many ADs that are good, I think if you do like 4 mid bans, it doesn't make that much difference. But if there's consistently 4 AD bans, you are already dropping to quite low. And then it's the question is, do you take the Corki or do you take the Aurora? Victor, actually, they take really early. Okay, so Victor, I don't know if they want it to match into the Aurora, but Aurora, of course, can flex. And it seems like people just flex it even though lane swaps happen. Personally, I think it's not very good if you get swapped on, but it seems to always be useful in games that I see it, but it seems to never be useful in games that we play against it or as it in the swaps. So Corki can flex. I mean, technically these can both flex, but I think it's almost certainly just going to be Victor mid. And Caitlyn is a good answer to the Corki in bot lane. And there's a bunch of stuff that you can pair with Caitlyn, like Elise, like Nico, like Lux. And then we do like Pantheon and stuff ourselves as well. I played a LeBlanc support game yesterday to pair with Caitlyn. It wasn't that good, but it was fun. Do you reckon AD or jungle pool is more at being risked of being pinched? Jungle pool's not that deep, but I think AD in 4-5 is more likely to get pinched. Because there's still all the like jungle tanks and stuff that we don't see much here. Okay, so they're full saving their 5th pick. Technically Pantheon is flex at this stage, but they just don't want to. They'd rather blind pick top lane than blind pick support, which would make sense because they want to not let Caitlyn get a really good support counter pick as well. If Caitlyn gets a support counter, then the matchup I think is really hard. And there's still Nico, there's still loads, so you can't ban them all. You ban the strongest one, and then you ban something so that you can pick this. And the question will just be, okay, LA, like, what do we need so that you can take a blind on 4? And it's like, well, okay, I'll ban Gnar, and then I can pick this or this. And he goes to Salm. So it's going to be Braum Caitlyn. Ooh, I would like the Bard or Karma, actually. I think that looks nice. I mean, Nico also can work because Braum like can't like punish it that much. And early on in the lane, I think you probably end up actually being favorable now with the Nico, but it depends. If we disregard Ziggs, because Ziggs is an established bot laner, it feels like mages, it's way harder to do dives. Yeah, you have you have early on, you have less wave clear, and you have less tower damage, and you have less dive threat than ADs.
They need to find some of that balance, find some of that kind of withholding presence for them to get themselves back in the series, because now we get some
And Ziggs has
against the all Scion comfort, we get some real big playmaking potentials in this mid game from both teams.
probably still less than a lot of ADs, but the tower damage makes up for it.
Oh, hey, you're gonna have a good matchup against Scion, but if that
But when you're like level 3, 4, 5, then you start getting more wave clear.
really this team's gonna be operating in a similar vein of like just jump straight into the backline, kind of like our Casantes are.
And especially once you get 9 is normally the break point
Imagine you want to go for a side
for mages to like one-shot the backline or something like that, then you can become really hard to punish.
Oh, I can't find anymore.
I think against a mage, almost always you would just swap, yeah. And that's where they would be weaker. Although a lot of mages are not very good level 1 as well in bot lane, so it's interesting. Be interesting to see what happens with it.
Mental reset for Weibo after that last game. You have to expect so. There's been some crazy level ones. Weibo
Because there has been stuff like Syndra. We used to flex Xerath and Syndra and stuff like that.
This is just gonna be them putting out feelers, getting some
So you can do mages. That was pre-swaps and all that though.
the way that God intended, the way that Mark Merrill and
So Braum's super strong level 1, so they're just
bot lane's walking
guarding.
There's no way at this point we're at 1 minute 30. If they lane swap here, then Weibo just want to lose game 3. Go for it.
we are going to be back in the
So no lane swap.
normalcy, even though it is an eco buff. You know, that's a little bit more normal.
The level 1 though, you just keep walking forward. But that tag, the fact that he got autoed by Braum, that was really bad.
For this bot lane, though, you have a lot of damage between the Braum and the Cage combo. Tien, notorious for his level 2 ganks, is looking for a full angle. JDG have no idea.
Can they get
I mean, Missing really doesn't want to get autoed by Braum there.
Go up a pace. He's been off a little pace.
No.
And that doggy don't got no.
No, I mean,
Blood goes to Tien.
after your support flashes, you just gotta be able to give that one up. They know
this is just really silly, isn't it?
Can they get level 2 from the bottom lane?
Tien, notorious for his level 2 ganks. It's a little bit more normal than maybe.
Like here, like this auto is really just really silly.
There's no way at this point we're at 1 minute 30.
It means they have to stop the trade because he jukes the Q, and so he wants to be more aggressive. So like, he jukes the Q, so he wants to be more aggressive. But then because he walks way too close and gets autoed, he has to run away before he gets one more auto because he would just get super chunked.
For this bot lane, though, you have a lot of damage between the Braum and the Cage combo. Tien, notorious for his level 2 ganks, is looking for a full angle. JDG have no idea.
Can they get level 2 from the bottom lane? Which is gonna force the issue.
The heal's coming out because the blows doesn't go up.
They just flash forward, they get all summoners, and Pays dies.
After your support flashes, you just gotta be able to give that one up.
So what is Zin going to lose for this? Because the wave is also in an absolute nightmare situation.
Throughout the early games, they have been the ones getting early.
It's pushing away from you and you die. That's really, really bad.
We need to see how Weibo are gonna be able to transition. This is exactly what we wanted to see when we were talking about all these pushing lanes for Tien.
And getting off to a great start. Gonna need to do something about this mid lane. Scout getting the better hand.
So Pantheon's not actually going to really get anything, it looks like.
Health rate going through. Shrun knows that Tien is up this way. Going for some of the chickens. He got 8 gold, so going for a few.
Yeah, so Pantheon literally gets nothing for the fact that
He is just fine with Shrun.
Zin gets a cheese gank off.
But I'm gonna get one guy before he loses again.
True.
There's some
Yeah,
people in the Discord, in the LPL Discord, they are already joined for our.
Okay, I thought it was going to be the silent solo kill.
I've been having to do unholy work trying to spread the gospel of this champion.
Bring
They
him
don't
down.
understand. They haven't played
Bring
Team
him
2.
down. Dude, Tien is just finding the angle. Xiao going for the hop over the wall. Tien gonna follow through.
Oh, that's nice. Very nice combo.
Again, he's making early action happen across the map. Gets Xiaohu a recall after what was looking like a bit of a dicey laning phase here, and still has access to some of these topside camps. Hasn't even taken his blue buff.
He's somehow not punished for this as well. Pantheon's just also clearing, but only clearing his own jungle. So Zin is like barely punished for this fact.
Getting all these early ganks. And honestly, I really like Xiao, or at least seen a lot of cases with this combo with the Xin Zhao together as Missy gonna play. Ooh, invisible doesn't take too much of the damage back down from.
I think they know. He knew that was coming.
I mean, he did just TP back into this place. Again, replays what happened here. Did Scout know? Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Together as Missy gonna play. Ooh, invisible doesn't take too much of the damage back down from it. Xiao, nicely timed.
Yeah. Great.
Oh my goodness.
Just TP back into
Okay, so they've seen that there's a ward just here. And he wants to gank mid lane. And so he comes around this way. They know this ward is here. And so he's literally just going to blast cone across this way and juke the vision.
Did Scout know? Oh my god.
What a
Beautiful
menace.
from our observers there to show the vision toggle. Scout had no idea. That is near pixel perfect coming in from Tien. Respect.
I mean,
It's just a jungle bout tonight. Tien is just trading blows back and forth.
he also could have just ran around the other way. But it's a nice little trick. So I missed that because I was thinking about the other thing. Because like it looks really special, but also like he can just run around blue buff. It takes like a half a second longer.
Trap underneath, and there's a headshot to the face. The kill on the Caitlyn in the Texia, but it is the kill to Weibo with a 3-0 lead and over 1,000 gold lead at 5.5 minutes out.
And it's so fun to watch for Weibo. It's not
So
only
Weibo already 1k up.
but this Caitlyn
Just everything's in his touching is turning to gold, and he's going to lose one camp now.
play, and it feels like Weibo, whether it was in the Demacia Cup or here,
And he doesn't even care.
say, like, one of our unique champions that we're gonna try to build around is this Caitlyn. So early game dominance, what we wanted to see from Weibo, and a great escape from Xiao. Still has the ultimate. Now we've got multiple members collapsing towards the top side. There's an early
I'm surprised they didn't do any like Scion shenanigans. I think if you take Scion and you're playing against Caitlyn, I think you do the weird Scion invade, Maybe you can't because enemy's got Braum, but even then, I think you do the weird Sion invade, and you super hard pressure, and then you take away the fact that the Kaelin's strong early, rather than just die to it. I'm not gonna relook at stuff from this point, right? They're 2k ahead already at 7 minutes.
This time around, they're finally making it work. Tiana's been visiting this mid lane more and more often. I mean, there's not much for JDG to do. They haven't really kind of been able to play around the early game skirmishing. They thought maybe the Pantheon was going to be similar to the bottom, right? Just hasn't been in the right place at the right time here.
Dude, that's the second gate that's worked on him from that same angle as well.
And this is how you get max value from Xin. You just perma, like super aggro.
And honestly, with this style composition they have run ahead, they feel very impressive.
They need to keep this gold lead up. Obviously, these champions can be pretty dangerous once you get to further item spikes, but really wanting to come online on 1 and 2. And for JDG, you hit 2 and 3 items, and you're in a golden spot. Triple item Corki, triple item on Victor. You'll have all of your upgrades at that moment. I think maybe some of the early ways you can play is getting early level 6 here for missing on the next rug timer.
So Missing can check with the clone. He gets the longer snare. I mean, this is nice. So Braum is here, so Xin feels really safe, but Caitlyn has to collect bot, so they are actually outnumbered. And then the Starfall comes in as well. So he uses the Scuttle Crab to get a longer snare. But they don't get anything for it. They get pushed off because bot lane's going to need to be fixed again, and mid lane gets pushed in, so... Cooldown's gone though, so I think they just have to lose this. Yeah, they just lose this. I mean, they're behind, right? So they got a load of gold back with that kill and stuff. Yeah, how do they get a 2k gold lead back in this sequence? So here they're 2k ahead, or 1 and a bit. And yet, with 1 kill coming back, it's just a shutdown. It's only worth 180 extra gold. They reset. I mean, Pantheon is still just like farming up, so he is starting to build up like a lot of gold that way. He's only 500 gold down. And this is still almost 2k, and then he dies. Okay. Now the game is like very close again. Okay, it seems like it was just the shutdown. The farm bouncing back and forward and the shutdown, so I took it at the most extreme moment of one way, and then it bounces back the other way. The CS, I mean. And because they had push in both side lanes while enemy was making that pick, they were able to stop them, chase them off it, which means they are able to get it while the enemy pushes their ways back. You know, like it ping-pongs back and forward.
I do like some of the in-between moments that JDG's been trying to utilize, especially getting a little bit more active. Like I was saying kind of earlier, I do like the combo of Zinzao and Aurora a little bit more in this kind of situation. We are going to be getting to first items closely as Weibo redeploy their bot lane towards top side for this next rub fight in 25 seconds.
Weibo are going to have to all in on this play because they just utilized Xiaohu's TP again from part of getting all that damage down onto the Aurora. And Scout can very clearly go down bot lane, wave, wants to TP, he can. Missing, don't care about
okay, just face check with the Braum. And they have that same ward again. It doesn't get seen. I like this ward actually. It doesn't get seen by the pink in the like banana bush. So it doesn't get seen down here, which is nice. They're teleporting in because they don't want to let them have all 3, but they just get 2 already, so... Okay, wait, let's watch that. Let's watch that normally. So, there's a big wave top, but Xiaohu does kill it instantly. So he doesn't even stay around for a next like auto. It loses 2 cannon waves, but two melee minions, not 2 cannon minions, 2 melee minions, but it's okay. And then they teleport in. But now enemy already has 2 because they're late on the positioning on it. Sion is ulting. Victor ult gets stopped by Camille on Victor teleport, sorry, gets stopped by Camille on the other side of the map. And so because of that stop, Xiaohu thinks he can just one-shot, but instead he dies. So they trade support for mid laner, but pays... Oh, I thought Light would just kill him. Okay, right. He has ult. That's why.
just piecing him up. But no, the Nico
Wait, Scout still gets a teleport?
the smite comes through from Tien. Unstoppable onslaught coming in over there.
Okay, he teleports after the Camille engages on him. I thought Camille was stopping.
But no, the Nico ulti, it comes online in time.
Wait, Paige, you're
Now he's
melee
trying to fight
ranging.
back. Yeah, he's in a lot.
How is Paze
Have that beautiful move
getting autoed by Braum here?
But no, the Nico ulti,
He's just going really aggressive.
it comes online in time.
Wait, Paige, you're
Now he's
melee
trying to fight
ranging.
back. Yeah, he's in a
So
lot.
he gets slowed by Light's E, which is why Braum can just walk up to him. But I don't know why he's going so aggro on that side. And I don't know why Light doesn't just auto him again to get barrier and then ult him.
That blast code saves his life too.
But Victor now is here.
You're fighting them way out of this one. Scout goes down. Grand Starfall comes through, but Shun looking for the feet.
Oh!
Spear. And
He wanted to get one more auto.
ground as Hung is now the only
So now JDG have clean up the fight. So they have Victor teleporting in. Camille doesn't teleport in. I think she
Why are we saving teleport, brother? I need to get a replay on that.
probably could.
Not in that fight. Ala makes his way over, and maybe this is a changed fight. Paige is low HP. Shun got down to critical 25% HP. This is another game where Breathe is just nowhere near the play.
But I think Paze just should die here from another auto of Caitlyn. Like, as in he pops barrier on the next auto and then...
Get the first turret, which will
But they do get the first tower.
miss out on so much more.
And they do get 2 grubs. So
missing while he was missing.
I think it's still fine for Weibo.
It's just such a
And that could have been much better. So I think that not teleporting is fine because I think you think this fight is actually fine.
Trying to fight Scout right now. Scout will eventually TP into this.
We also don't need to fight this.
Yeah,
I don't think.
didn't have ultimate. It was after the Hexacle command had already gone down. I like what Xiaohu's actually
Xiaohu does some damage, but ends up trading his life for support. Here, you just auto again.
feels like
Like, Pantheon stun is down, and you have cleanse.
displayed. At this point, you need to cool.
And now they're just really split. So they overchase on one side, which means it takes too long for Braum to get back. And all this time, you're just taking bot tower, and you've got the grubs.
into the Grand Starfall huge, and they just knew the fight to take, and they took it well. Now we are on this first side of the fight. We are on a much more level playing field for JDG. How do we like their odds?
I mean, they've got Sundered Sky, you've got a Trinity Force here.
That's all you needed to say.
That's good enough for me, honestly. That's going to be a huge spike, and Pantheon's going to be very tanky to deal with. He is going to be very annoying alongside that E, the amount of healing that you kind of get around as a melee. Even W getting in a
Yeah.
power, you're getting that healing. It's going to be pretty huge. And we're talking
Yeah, Braum shouldn't run after. He shouldn't need to. Because, like I say, I think Caitlyn just plays more aggressive early on. Because, you know, you can say, oh, right, they should have played more, but then Paze also shouldn't have walked into Braum.
All series long, honestly. With how important the series is for the seeding in playoffs.
So there's many ifs and buts, but I think
More gumption than they will take.
for sure you don't split there. You just let Corki get away on like 1 HP,
grubs. You're also losing out on
and you can win the rest of the fight with Braum and Caitlyn still there.
This is a dangerous part. We have 5 grubs.
Missing, just gonna have to pop the pop blast, and Mala trying to block them off.
And they just overload on one side, and the response is really, really bad.
He's stuck in jail there, no getting out except for a flash potentially. It should comes in, maybe makes the difference. Breeze says no, you're not getting away with this one.
Breathe.
Meanwhile, Weibo's still fighting.
Okay.
Ala finally goes down in zombie mode. Scout and Pace.
Yeah, so the response is just really bad. They lose 2 towers, and then they lose, what, 2 for 2 for 1. So they just, because they got 5 grubs, they just hard overload on one side of the map, and then
Cross that first enemy team. You have to match where they are. We saw that very early on. Weibo committed to this idea. You have this Caitlyn. These headshot passes are going to do so much damage. With the Void grubs as well, they can disengage onto missing. And after this play, I'm thinking, okay, you know that multiple numbers are coming. You know that there's Pantheon probably in our future. You just got to be able to peel out from this play. And I can't breathe. You got the kill for yourself, but losing the flash as well. I feel like Weibo, while playing that strong early and you wanted to see, are not playing as clean or as disciplined as I think we should be expecting for a team of this caliber.
I think that we've seen play pretty disciplined in some of their series already.
okay, they're going to start Herald, but Camille is just pushing. Camille with grubs. So here they're not actually contesting. Like here they're just like fake contesting, like I was talking about. They're just slowing them down as much as possible. They end up getting a pick on one side, but they're just trying to slow them as much as they can. And so they don't quite get a full tower because of the slow. But they get more. So this is again something you can take into your games. If we're like doing something on the other side of the map, it isn't useless actually to, okay, what the hell is this? It isn't useless actually to go to the objective, but you have to think about why you're going there. Am I going there to try and steal it, or am I going there to like slow them down? The thing that's really bad that you see a lot in solo queue is people just going there and then like literally just standing still, not going close enough to slow the enemy down, but not going far enough away to actually do anything else, or just like waiting near and then throwing a spell to try and steal it. Like that's none of that's useful. Either go with the intent to slow them down, go with the intent to steal it, or go and do something else. That's how you should approach these objectives, I think, in solo queue.
Taking a look at summoner spells, mostly everybody has their set up set for this last down support for me. A lot of mobility coming out from Aurora, so can't imagine releasing our buddy mid laner too badly in this next fight. And very quickly before we before we move on from the playoff topic, I did want to say, like, it's not just seeding, it's access to double elim, which is such a huge boon. So both of these teams we are expecting to see and are locked for playoffs. It's just who you're going to be facing in that first round, which I think is more important here. So Dragon spawning in 20 seconds. I mean, I'm going with JDG has to play for it. I think while you have a really strong 2-item start for multiple of your carries, still have also this Turret Tails. You can try to crack open some of these turrets and get ready for those 3 items coming out for Java.
Scout's starting to be a little massive. They get the unstoppable upslide out of Allah, so they will push them away from the dragon. Weibo will go ahead and start that one up. Nobody around from JDG to contest that one. They're going to look elsewhere for their prizes.
They try to push in through mid. They get scouts some more minions on the top side of the map, but they're not able to develop all that much on this.
Okay, so they get Dragon as well. Game is still fairly even, but Camille with now 2 items on the side lane is going to be really, really strong with the 5 grubbers as well. Oh, I thought this tower was way lower. Look how low it looks on the map. It looks like it's almost dead. But actually, it's half HP. Nico catches Light. Okay.
He's invisible. He goes uninvisible. He goes with the clean world. He goes with the damage on the scout. Now Bree finding his entrance. Is that enough? TP on the back by Allah. He has found Xiaohu. He's just going to try to run him down. Hung going over. Nice double knockup. And the pop blast of blast from missing. They find the combos on a Xiaohu. He's still fighting his life away. Goes invisible. Bounces away. Buying a ton of time. Recenter on the fight. They've already picked up Allah.
Okay, like I'm going to have to go back to the beginning of this because this is a wild one. So I don't know what Scout is doing here. I think maybe he gets in and thinks, oh my god, actually this is too aggressive. Because it was too aggressive. If he jumps in there, I think he can just insta-die. Xiao gets a nice flank. Teleport comes in from Sion on the backside. So he just stalls Xiaohu with the ult, but the Pop Blossom just misses. And then Xiaohu's really chasing, like being chased on this side by 2 carries, and while that happens, Arlo dies. But Hang is going to die as well, probably. Yeah. Oof, that headshot almost kills Missing. Okay, but the oof. And now Xiaohu's found himself on top side, so he's just gonna like get this tower. I mean, that's so close, that fight. It's a very good series. Because the fact that, wait, what stops? What stops? What knocks Xiaohu back so he doesn't get hit by Missing? Looks like he gets like bumped to the side for something. So the ult hits both. The Q comes down. Oh, he E's. Okay, he E's as he gets knocked up. So he does get knocked up, but he's Eing at the same time. And then Ale just takes...
Everybody at home to watch these trap placements because it's so difficult. Yes, Shun's able to jump over, walks into another trap. JDG, they can't walk in. There's still a turret here as well.
Another trap, another trap. Like, with the lethal tempo up, I think can keep playing aggressive here, but he doesn't know what HP... doesn't know what HP Missing is on. Because he's transformed him to Corki.
Looking at top lane play onto Atakan. They did start it up. They were on vision, though. At least they are known. And here comes JDG with a response. He's on vision. They're trying to play. Yeah, Shun can look for the ultimate here. Maybe they're trying to make this play onto Breeze, recognizing that.
They're going to make a play on one side. I assume instant Atakan start. But they've got teleport and they've got oh, okay. He ults and teleports away. But they do push him off. So Scout ults, teleports as well, top. Pantheon would have been able to Skyfall in, so that's why he's making a play on that side. But on the back line, they are able to get pick. So Xiaohu's just permanently looking for picks, and like jumping over the wall and making this Aurora look so broken, by the way. Space in front of the fight. Dragon just came up across the map, but it's all about repositioning for this mid lane for Weibo.
5 grubs, a wave coming in through mid. JDG getting a bit lost in the sauce here. Will mean that, I mean, look, I thought maybe we were going to contest for the mid tier 2. They instead say, look, let's put ourselves on soul point. And
okay. And this is pre-buff Chemtech Soul, so not that good, but puts them on soul point at least. And they're going to start Atakan. But while they're on Dragon, like we say many times, this doesn't work. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so Ale has lost all his resists to Atakan and loads of health, by the way. And so this combo just does so much damage to him. But they are able to get it. And this is the thing, like, Dragon is far enough away. So they instantly get one of the buffs off.
Kind of annoying with how many times the Scion is going to be able to respawn in a fight now. Now that he's coming off 3 items here for Allah. It wasn't already difficult to deal with. He is literally just going to be able to walk up, have like 4,000, 5,000 HP. Pretty tough to deal with. I think Allah's fine.
Like here, he's going to have so little resists. Like, look, he's got 50 stacks. So he's actually got 7 armor. MR, sorry.
This just straight up rips him 2,000 HP and a Storm Surge proc. So yeah, we're able to grab yourself the revive, but it immediately goes to waste. And
dude, that's
JDG, but
insane.
you got it on the 4 members, right? I think that's as good as you're going to get, especially with how this early game has really panned out for JDG.
You got to be careful. Atakan takes away all your armor and magic resist. Okay, JDG just instant start this with the Atakan. But okay, but couldn't they just keep Baron leashed? Okay, Tian can't keep it leashed. He's gonna die. Okay, so but this is why it's weird. Okay, they force a fight around Baron, they lose the fight. You can say, oh, we didn't lose anything. But if that fight goes a little differently and someone can keep Baron leashed, you just still lose Baron. So now they can just run straight back to it because they got 1 kill and they got a bunch of ults.
They're very late, already down to 5,000 health here. Weibo cannot find an angle. It's not feeling the same as the last fight. Olive tanking up the front line. Baron down.
So you can't do this anymore because you have 15 extra seconds. So you'd be ahead, but you wouldn't be ahead enough to just instantly Baron.
A minute and 10 before that dragon is spawned. So what can JDG do with this Baron buff? Mostly going to be a denial and being able to help protect their last few structures in the game. Imagine Weibo with a Baron with 6 grubs or 5 grubs. The base just kind of immediately evaporates in front of them if they really want to. So JDG, they're going to take this Baron to at least buy themselves time, give them some breaks as we get further into this game, and preventing what could be a soul for Weibo.
That's a massive point in the many points that have been in this game. The fact of the matter is, for Weibo, and also denying that from JDG would be so massive. Looking for some late game scaling, stacking Nico plays.
He's canceling the auto attack, so if anybody's looking real closely at it, they should know. You also can just press tab and recognize Breeze. I don't think Breeze is the real target here. Turret. He's walking on there. Oh, forcing it. Oh, Breeze. Oh, he's still on.
Okay, he stacks. He buffers the E, so Tian does so much damage though. Okay, Xiao playing on sides. And they're just playing again, like they instantly go for like multiple different directions.
Unfortunately, stayed a little too long in this fight. They'll just barely scout out that Xiao who was there. And yeah, they're going to start out this dragon here. This will be Soul if Weibo can contest.
All is looking for an angle. He's got to have unstoppable onslaught coming through. He could find an angle here into the front line. Breathe, waiting around the side. Dragon getting low. And there goes. And now he's taking Hung for Weibo just secured Soul. And JDG now fighting their way on to Breathe.
But they do get Soul. So by the time you actually have positioning on this, like it's hard. They're going to get Soul.
Lonesome in the dragon pit, and both teams trading for objective.
Some of those misgivings we had for JDG, the lack of coordination in some of their fights, their setup before objective is coming to bear here in this. Nobody really in position to contest around the pit. They can find that find onto Xiao early on. Scout, fancy feet, also
and then they're trying to just like harass them on the way back. Like that's that's almost so much better, even for Weibo.
He will be pumping damage with a lot of range in these fights. So I think the way we take stock of this is what can JDG get when they combine? That was our biggest question.
Yeah, I mean JDG was there sort of first, but a few people needed the base, right? Braum just autos it. So they had the push, but then they got the mid lane tower, but it's just a little bit too much. By the time they reset and come back out, then they've lost the position on it.
Insurmountable lead, but especially how close a lot of these fights are, that Chemtech Dragon Soul giving an increased amount of damage and durability is going to be something that we're going to be looking forward to.
I will also just say it might be a little bit later in the game, but the massive 3,000 gold difference in the mid lane matchup, I feel like weighs more heavily than that 3,000 gold difference in the top lane matchup. The fact that Scout is almost on the death cap right now on this Victor, you have to be worrisome about that in these next fights, and I really love to see Weibo trying to position around.
We're getting item completions as well, but big thing for me is, like you were saying, the item differential happening in mid lane pays and white each other. Our junglers are on 3 items, but Death Cap's such a huge influx of damage as well. Missing, I respect the call. Mid laners recolor. Please let this man back. We get the Death Cap here, so Scout, you are level 18. You're the most fed member in this entire game across both teams. We've had a lot of criticisms for you so far early here into the LPL 2025. We need to see you get your team a playoff berth. You'll have to win another game after this, but we need to see something from this guy, because this early start has not been very kind to him.
Looking back and wishing you were back in game 2 as a Scout fan who's waiting in the fog 4. Missing gonna play as the minion. Unstoppable onslaught coming through. There's the brand star.
Okay, let's look at this. Like, so Missing looks like he gets like maybe one shot at the beginning of this. So they're coming up with the Missing as a minion.
This early start has not been very kind to him.
Kind of bugs out the other minion, unfortunately, but still. But they're instantly engaging already. So on this wave, they're just going like full ham. Pantheon ult comes in. Missing doesn't get light. Jun is threatening light on the side. Buys a lot of time with his E. They all come together, but I think it's going to be not enough and they're all going to die. Or they don't even go for them. They just let Camille pressure them on a side.
Tenacity coming in from triple Chemtech Drake is a hell of a drug. He flashes out.
Okay, he uses that between worlds to get some more distance.
Breathe is opening the map.
Extra list as he's trying to go between the turrets here. That's not between worlds. That's not your ultimate. He's getting damage on the page.
Okay,
But he falls.
so Zhao who dies because of the Chemtech things, like
Breathe on during all of that. Got an inhibitor on the
I think they just really want to
comfortable starting.
threaten the mid wave, and I think Camille does get work done no matter who she's against in the side lane at this stage of the game, because Victor is very vulnerable to the Camille as well. So even though she has no MR or only a little bit, still in a long lane, you overextend just once and she just runs you down. Sion is actually still fine against Camille. It's just he wants the group. He's never going to be able to pressure Camille. He just wants to push and then group. Or do this, like with someone else, collapse on Camille. But this is why having the grubs is just so obnoxiously strong, because it just makes it so much worse, more extreme. Now they've used a bunch of tools, so they just instantly go for the Baron. So because Victor ult is down, Sion ult is down, they just insta-start Baron. And you've traded it for just Camille ult, which is not something that you need in team fights. Ends up being like a kind of 50-50, but you play and will win the fight. For sure. I think Xiao could have killed the Pantheon if he ulted into him. Xiao, who you mean? Oh, when he gets caught. Maybe, but he has the E back probably, right? Yeah, he's never going to pressure Camille Sion, but he is going to, like, he shouldn't be like diveable or anything. But now Camille is just super strong. She's going to be a problem no matter what. Okay, 2-for-1 to Weibo. Now we've seen the beginning of this next game, but we'll look at the draft already. Oh, Kennen. Okay, and they get the right. So this time we do get the Ashe and Varus trade. A bunch of ADs are gone, so they want to pinch somewhere else instead and just trade those two AD carries. Blind pick Ryze mid lane versus LeBlanc. Okay. Oh, sorry. I tried to pause it, but had my hand on the wrong. I had my mouse, sorry, on the wrong thing. Okay. So, Kalista Renata, you're kind of locked into it because it's the way to really make Kalista strong. Renata can play super far up, and you can't go on Renata, and then you also can't go on Kalista because it's the same thing. Blind pick Kennen is kind of wild. Galio banned, Rumble banned. They banned Nara as well, which is one of the things you play Kennen into. So that's really wild to me. There's what? Renekton's gone, Casante's gone, Ambessa's gone, Sion's gone, Jace is gone, Camille's gone. Quite a lot of top laners are gone, but this I would not expect. so sure. I guess if Kennen's coming in on the flank and you're playing with Renata as well, that can be really strong. They go for the Rel. Again, Rel in LPL is just less priority than in other regions, which is strange. I guess it's because, again, Rel is better in like one big fight than Leona or Nautilus, but Leona and Nautilus are better in the little skirmishes, and there's a lot more skirmishes in LPL. It's just faster, more often, all those kind of things. And then, yeah, the where else could you go? Cassio, no? Cassio on 5, good into Rise, or at least used to be. And then really obnoxious to play Calista against, because you can stop the autos, stop the jumps. And enemy needs to engage onto you. I don't mind. I think Cassio is better than LeBlanc there, but I don't really see very much LeBlanc, so I'm biased, I think. And this is the one we saw where they go for the absolute dive masterclass in bot lane. So they invade, push people away, and now, of course, they want to swap away from Calista Renata. They want to swap away from Calista Renata, and they want to probably send. They know, everyone knows they want to send Rel bot. Both teams know. Ale gets some push in mid. And it's 2 people in mid versus 2 in mid. Varus is going to push up. And so because he's mid, we said this yesterday, he's too late to be on this wave to help the dive. Like, he's just a little bit too late. He's not level 2, but he's also not on the wave. If he's with the wave, I think he can just get to this bot tower and then this whole thing doesn't happen. But already while this is happening, Scout pushes mid and comes down across as soon as he gets, I think he gets 3 on this wave. Yeah, he gets 3 on this wave, pushes and comes down. Now they get the first dive. And now double, like, the TP comes down and Xiaohu moves, but because Scout's already moved as well. They get a couple on this side, but then the quad comes in, the 4th dive. So it's 2-0-2 Calista, 3 minutes into the game. That's actually really big from Hang.
It's a fast back. It's literally the same timer as him actually just hitting a recall button, so whatever, I get it. Just wants to be able to immediately, instead of having to wait for the channel and then go back to base, he's just back into the fountain that much quicker. Shout out to my perfect player. Doing perfectly fine for himself. Yeah, I don't know, big advantage here for JDG. We're not bot lane, we've been kind of checking in on items throughout the series, but 4.5 minutes, finish Berserker Grease here from
And so now it's level 5 Varus, level 3 Rel. They're much better in the TVT, but you still have to be top for the grubs. Or both teams want to be top for grubs, I should say. Kennen, this is pre-domination buffs as well, so nowadays I think you'd run a domination rune on Kennen. Maybe you'd still run area into tanks, but electrocute or something would be nice.
Consistency is so key to me in that kind of conversation there as well for Paze. Needing to be consistent for JDG. And speaking of consistency, we're 6 minutes in, that means Grubs is up. That means more fighting. That means more positioning towards this top side. And guess who's here? TN and Shun.
This could be a window. There's no handshake anymore from Missing. We'll be able to have it in a few seconds here. I thought maybe they're going to be able to look for this, but Shun's just doing a full grub camp here.
Okay, Missing getting a little bit low here. Is burning down. Paze stacking up the Ren, walking around.
Okay, so they start the grubs straight away. Scout is basing and doesn't have TP though. So they start while Scout's not there, which is already going to be like a little bit aggressive. So he smites to take 1 and gets level 5. And now they just have to play the 3v3. Hang nearly dies, but Varus is 6, which is a big difference. So normally you'd lose that, but with the 6 advantage, they play this. And I just really don't like Jun just starting grubs there. You had no mid laner, so mid lane's always going to be slower on this thing, and then it was level 6.
It's so close. Scout wants to step up and help get another grub.
Okay, but Scout gets a really nice EQ combo, and they have to leave it. So they do get 2 grubs, but I think that's a very questionable start from Lee Sin on that objective.
We're now missing some summoner spells. We're looking at that flash being gone from Light and from Tam. If that's going to be a big game changer. He's level 6 right on that wave. And look how low Hung gets here. Get out of vision, shield from the dismount there. Being the world of difference between Dave getting a reset and I mean, the rest of this fight going in there Baker. And then the rest of this just kind of the rest of JDG being able to play, specifically Scout on this rise.
Honestly, I like the look from Light right there. Trying to go with the flash piercing arrow. We're back to live though. We're fighting because that's all these teams know how to do. And that's how we live in the LPL. Now, Hung, maybe wants to get out of that fight. Does end up burning his flash over one.
Oh, wait,
I mean, a lot of damage onto Hang, so he has the base. And even after those 4 dives, we're now like even kill game.
I mean, JDG, they should be looking to contest for this dragon, but seems like Missing wants to take a recall. Maybe just out of vision. He doesn't have any wards in his inventory, so it wants to reset before they look for anything more.
Still pretty late on the objective stacking in terms of the dragons, especially since somebody started up and we're only about 2.5 minutes out from the next grub. But that'll be a big fight for both teams. Should go for a little bit of a trade on the Xiao, who thinks the better of it, but still gets a chunk of his own health taken away. JDG potentially moving around this dragon pit to start this one up preemptively.
I do favor Light and Hung in this position, but ultimates, very good ones. Key coming up for JDG. Ala already having slicing Maelstrom. There's a take care from Shun, and while their supports are missing, that ultimate from Light definitely makes it way easier for JDG to contest through mid and grab this first dragon.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you swing and you miss. That one was definitely one of those. Xiao, who? Oh, his Scout tried to predict. He just doesn't pull the trigger on it. And again, pretty healthy trade.
So they are able to get the next objective.
Another mark on the Epic Monster objective. That is 1 mark for JDG.
Yeah, I like Rise as well. I think it'd be cool to start seeing him. It's just about the speed, though. It's always going to be... They do get the stun. He trades back 1 for 1. But this is really close. If Scout gets away as well... Wait, does he walk out or does he get stunned? Because if he walks out, I think they still tank tower, right? He's really worried about being stunned on one side of it, of course.
This was the matchup that Xiaohu opted for. Remember, this is the one where he was looking for. They're going to try to make this dive. Waves gone. The closest person is Shun.
No, he just doesn't. He's just not quite in it.
Oh, he walked out.
Okay, well, he trades 1 for 1, so it's okay. I mean, that tower is doing so much damage. Imagine if you could take these teams and put them back with, like, Season 3 tower damage. They would just dive non-stop. Towers would just not exist. We're literally in the situation where people die to, like, 2 tower shots and there's still loads of dives. He's so close to just getting out there. The tanky support dies in 2 tower shots, but in this game there was a 4 repeat dive. So Tian's going to start the grubs this time. They have push in mid, they have push in top. Rise is bot lane, but Rise is now TPing to play for the fight. And they just take 2 and back out, so it's going to be 3 and 3. No one gets Season 3 damage was much lower too. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if the players were as good as they are now, and we realized how to dive, like, I remember having to teach professional teams how to dive, and we would go, well, learning with professional teams, I should say, how to dive, and we were going through stuff like, okay, someone tanks and then says that they're tanking, and don't start tanking when other people aren't in range to dive. That was even a few years ago, actually. That wasn't even Season 3. That was like, I did that with Solari. We did like dive practice. Now you can actually do dive practice in practice tool, which is nice.
So we haven't seen him really interact in all many of the fights. It's been really around that second grub, so we got the most amount of action, but this Maokai's gonna have to put in a lot of work setting up the rest of the team. And I just don't know if this damage healer
This is your counter pick, by the way. I think it's not good. And also, like, the person who gets one shot, I guess you can play LeBlanc a bit more like a poke champion, where you jump in, do your damage, jump instantly back out. So it's better against Renata in that sense, because Renata's not very good into poke, because obviously you want people to engage, one-shot someone, but then they don't actually die. Whereas if you one-shot someone from far away, then her W doesn't mean anything. But I think this is not a good situation. Allah just instantly responds to it.
We haven't talked about it, but this is yet another game where Allah has found a massive lead for himself. 4 ACS, great handshake from missing, but you walked into Fog of War instead of underneath your turret. Can Hunt find it, go ignite.
Get on that horse, ride him down. He's got the bailout.
Oh, the flash.
He's gonna die, but it's already too late for missing.
Yeah, and another turret here for Allah.
And they get first tower as well.
Two solo laners, big power spike incoming here for JDG in the next coming fights. As Weibo feel lost in this game, there's no connection, no cohesion. It feels like a lot of the plays are kind of happening around the map, but we're not tying the rest of
Going a bit quick because I think there might be another game. I want to get some of it, but I still want to finish by 1 if I can, which I probably can't actually. So they just insta-kill. JDG take Dragon as well. They've got 3k gold lead. They're in a very good spot.
The gut feeling in the pit of my stomach is that this is going to be a game where Weibo feel like they do nothing. This is going to be like the do nothing burger game where Weibo kind of just sit around, they lose a couple fights. And maybe this game honestly just came down to the level 3 or the 3 minutes in, we have 5 people down bot lane, they invest the teleport, they die again. That might just be where the game ends, and you're like, okay, well the rest of the game kind of plays out X, Y, and Z. But I really think that Weibo can get back in. They just need to lay on item spikes. They need to be a little bit more creative.
I mean, I think the dive was good, obviously, but it didn't like win them the game.
He's almost done with not only Saris, but almost Rod of Age as well.
And because of that grub start, you then were even in kills. Okay. This is your super high prio first pick. Just getting 1 shot in mid lane. He just knows because he doesn't have barrier, doesn't have cleanse. He's going to hit the combo. Ooh. Hang on, whiffs completely. So Lee did get Herald, but because of that kill at mid, I mean, Light started to look very, very strong.
What's going on in mid here?
This is just light outplaying him.
Let's see it. Okay, we press Yomus. Outplayed. Yeah, he landed ult. You got, oh, whoa, whoa, hey. Double flash and a cleanse, I think. Maybe not worth. Maybe come up big time for JDG. Now they go to the mid tier 1. They're able to grab this. I mean, hey, Icon spawning in a minute and a half. How much of the map they have? We're just straight up roaming out.
This is the cool thing about Rise. Enemies TPing, you've got loads of time to respond to it. So you get the second charge, and then we just all TP out. Enemies TPing, flanking behind us. Oh no, fine.
But looking at the symptoms here, I mean, this has been an issue for Weibo in this series in particular. Just even looking at the microcosm of these games that we've seen. Sometimes they feel a little bit lost, a little bit not all synced together, and that's not necessarily what I was expecting from this Weibo roster going into today's series.
They've been pretty decisive in a lot of their games, and while sometimes I think they get a little bit lost, maybe for
From Pays now is just getting picked on. So this is, I guess, where you, like I was saying, you play LeBlanc like a poke champ. You play LeBlanc and Varus, and you just try and poke at. You try and poke at the Callista all the time. Maokai with the Unending Despair. Still a 4k lead though. Every time the objective comes up, it's going to be difficult because if Ally can get a good flank, you just get 1 shot. I think this cannon is so strong. 2.4k gold lead. He's going for this like slightly more tanky build. But now like anywhere cannon can be anywhere. And he's really far on the side. They do find him though. So they do find it, but he takes so much time that he just gets Atacanned. Okay. So they get 3 of the Atacans, but you still have the objective. And so you're going to be able to come back and play for this fight. I think at this fight, guys. I mean, I think you're so lucky to only lose 1 here. You can't do this. Enemy is respawned. It was good that we got 3 of their Atacans, but then you have to think that they're on the map. And you've got no cooldowns, you've got no health. So they're going to get 2 tier 2s for it, maybe. But they also almost got more. Yeah. Okay. Oh, but breathe on the flank. It never stops in these LPL games. Okay, really bad ult, so he only gets 1. I think you just ult straight away, and you kill them both. Scout has flash. Yeah. He flashes away. Then they're going to push up mid and play on the top side, maybe. You see them spamming on those camps. If you can get Ken and ult like that, that's really, really good. Because you get it on 1 person, and he also doesn't kill. So Yeah, Wukong ult is down 2, but Kennen ult at this stage I think is so strong that here's your backline, you're just all dead. He's got the Banshee, so he can't be snared by Maokai, right? Or ulted by Maokai, who would just use that to keep him out. I think I'm probably just going to do this game. So if JDG win, I won't see the last game. Ah, that's silly. If JDG win, I'll do the rest. I'll just skip forward a bit. So still 5k gold lead. They should still be in a very good spot. Kalista does fall off in comps like this, I think, when the enemy starts to have like loads of poke and stuff. But if she can ever free hit onto Maokai, onto Wukong, it will be really strong. Renata ult can be massive. Rise on a side lane, though, should just be so difficult to deal with, I think. And he's already 2 levels up and has teleport advantage right now. Actually, he won't for very long. But 2 levels up on Rise. He's got the magic resist boots. He's got the steel... whatever it's called. Not the Zhonya's that's not Zhonya's. Whatever it's called now. Arm guards. Not stopwatch. Oh, and he just realm walks away. Realm warps. Do they not have any more CC? I mean, Breathe. Light had ult. He had no flash.
So many crowd control abilities used by Breathe. Scout's gonna say, look, I brought another mini wave that suspiciously looks like the old one that I teleported away.
He almost just kills him.
Yeah, he's got so much damage on this Rise. Level 16 now, so increased amount of passive damage from Overload.
I feel like he should die there. They have more CC and just don't use all the CC. Use all but one of the CCs. But Varus could just ult him.
A big testament to how strong Pace is. But this kind of scout carry mantra has always been the namesake of this guy, and I would say that wanting to see that more consistently is a big ask we've had.
And now he's just pushing up and he's able to just get so much. Like he pushes and gets jungle. He's just so obnoxious on the side lane. This is another reason why we don't see much Rise, by the way, in other regions, because you play super hard on the side lane, which we can't do so well. A lot of mid laners in LEC, for example. Like Caps and stuff, I think, could be good Rise players. But I think a lot of mid laners, especially some of the younger ones, are still yet to work out how to play side lanes properly. Or get the max from side lanes in a competitive game. And then this I think it's just one like big EQ combo. Here. EW. Yeah, QEQ. I mean, Rise is fed at this stage. And now they're going to go and get Baron. Yeah, exactly. The downside is it just plays so differently from every other champ. Okay. I mean, we can look at this, but I think we could also just jump into the next one. I need to go to the toilet, but other than that, we'll get into game 5. Yeah, so Xiaohu gets zoned away instantly. They turn around. Ale's still playing on that side. If he can keep 2, and he just flash ults to get 2. And Scout is just running at the rest of them. And this is the downside of all this poke, is you just don't have enough damage to get through Rise. Rise is just running at everyone. Oh yeah, he got reworked season 8. Does that mean he got reworked so many times? But does that mean he's a season 1 champ, or whatever season he got most recently reworked in? Okay, I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of this game, quickly go to the toilet, and then come back.
And now we come back to live. Baron is already been taken. There's a dragon that's spawning in 45, but I want to see JDG take this Baron and push it down onto Weibo, open up this map, and take over the game.
Okay, they actually catch down onto Tien. He's obliterated in the sky as now Light gets chased out by Shun. The dragon may take into the back, into the combo, and the hostile takeover has truly taken over this game. Weibo are completely dusted. TP's not available, but they'll walk all the way down that mid lane. And JDG, they might be scrappy. They might not always have it all together, but they'll find a way to push us to 5.
Baron, and I can't believe it. We have our second full best of 5 here, thanks to our fearless system and the early best of 5 series. I can't believe it, man. Weibo and JDG delivering in the match of the week.
so deserved of the title. We knew it was going to be a fun one. We knew that Group B was going to end with a banger. This is the Group B matchup that we've been waiting for. This entire early part of the split. And we get his best of 5 going all the way. That means so many champions off the table. The ADC pool, obliterated. The jungle pool, obliterated. We're going to have to see some spicy picks come out of that game 5. And I couldn't be more excited. The fact that it's been everybody showing up in different moments for both teams has been so fun to watch.
All I'm hearing is Sejuani Yone. Sejuani Yone. I'm actually, surprisingly enough, I know we were kind of joking earlier about the start of the 100% ban presence. I thought TM's fight from last year was actually pretty good. I would think this is often too, especially if that is the most
Okay, I'm back.
really don't want to have to be impaled.
Spam Rise of Season 5.
I mean, the fact of the matter is,
What, when you ulted and everything did AoE, and if people were just like going a bit too aggressive on you, then suddenly you just turn around everything?
We might see some of these tricks. I feel like Bradley's composition is quite good.
I'm pretty sure your bot lane loses.
Okay, another fantastic ban from you.
What is this?
Good at this. Okay, let's take this off the table because I want a very special champion on as my first pick. Okay.
Frel, your champion, could be eliminated. But which one?
And there's a couple good ones. I know you were alluding to it throughout this whole series, Bradley. Do you want me to have the icy pig? A moment of genius?
Yeah, I got this.
I'll take your gambit. I will be locking in Sejuani.
Okay.
My jungle's been performing, but we'll let him carry in a different way this one.
What is this?
Taking the Azir and the Kindred.
Are they...
Teacher too.
That is a very...
Okay, right, they're doing like a fake version of Game 5 draft. That's cool. Yeah, there was a time where you ulted, and then it made each ability to do splash damage, and also have like regen.
Games here this series. I'm taking a look. Could have been potentially played in that first game or that second game where we had the Renekton way coming in from JDG, maybe even game 3, but it's gonna make it all the way here in our final game. And a big flex pick, I think, really importantly for Alisha and Missing.
I was gonna say, like, a part of me wants to just be like, this is a missing flex pick right now. They're just gonna play with their food a little bit, see if they want to flex that in multiple different positions. Like you said, it is available to them in.
Okay, so Poppy always going to be good already, even just with one dash champ. Well, not always, but at this stage of a fearless draft.
Take care of because a lot of them obviously already gone. Jinx is definitely still available.
Yeah, there was a few faker moments at Worlds with that Rise. If you want to go back and look at those, I think in the final, that was the time where they lost one game over the whole tournament. They went 3-1 in one of their series, but other than that, it was 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 6-0 groups. And there was a couple of moments where like he's just getting 1v2'd and then he just presses ult, one-shots the wave and both the people.
Diego is absolutely ruthless. Part of the reason why he got the MVP in summer.
Let's see if I can find it. I can find some like Spam Rise highlights.
That double range poke coming through from the bot lane potential.
Spam Rise.
I wonder if this is going to be another range support. We were seeing some of the enchanters start to get picked up here, but I mean, Hung on Engage has been, I think, so important, and I think an enchanter's not really going to have that same kind of go button.
This one.
To save the day. Everyone had to do the right thing to avoid dying there, which is a little bit dangerous.
Flashes were blown in the mid lane as well. Looks like Faker and Kuro went hard. There's no flash.
Okay, that wasn't as impressive as I was hoping. So good thing you didn't see that.
This is one of the problems we mentioned.
They're charging things up and alt as he makes his way out there, getting a few stacks.
This part though, just
He's going to be in range a little bit more. Space presence.
how obnoxious that is. He triple snares him.
Faker, the teleport and flash, #worth.
And right here is why Faker makes Rise work. He knows exactly when he can flash forward and just unleash his entire combo, keep you small windows of
Nara out, Faker and Kuro already on the bottom side of the map, adding that
Is it this
pressure.
one?
With Dragon coming up, you can already see Gorilla kind of waiting in the middle of both top and mid, or I should say bottom and
Rem
mid.
is home guard, and he's sitting in base for a long time, and he's waiting to TP somewhere. He's
So there, like all of them are going to do AoE.
Just going into the river brush, but it's
They just spam so many abilities.
Saracen Brace wasn't even used by
This is all in one game as well, by the way.
Keep going for the fight. Gorilla chomps up Smeb as his teleport comes in. Bray gets caught way off on the wing here. Ku was not ready to take
And then
any
just
sort of
absolutely,
fight. They thought
this I think wins them the
V1 with their TP being the
the
advantage
game.
in bottom lane.
Anyway,
Expert ban there, especially for stopping
now that that is done,
Oh, dang it, we didn't get the Sejuani. He got banned again. It's
okay,
so
Ezreal Karma,
you know things are
like
going
this,
on with Barrow when
and there's not that much left. Ezreal's super safe as well at this stage. I mean, at any stage, I guess in taking it 1-2, because it's just hard to play against. And you can play poke. I think you can take Karma into Galio maybe as well, but we'll see if they do that.
There's too many compilations. Man. This guy, well,
They go,
he was doing some
these
things
make it look like Karma is going to go to support.
Now I'm thinking about, like, what Hung has access to again. Tom Kench is something that maybe comes to mind. fine, but you're giving up a lot of the lane versus Ezreal Karma already. Maybe you try to play another Enchanter, maybe something like Seraphine.
True, actually. The Seraphine would be really interesting.
Okay.
Big focus on Shun in the second
Lilia.
trying to take away some of the comfort picks
Into
from
2 melees at least.
Lilia.
You're going to have at least 1 extra melee, champ.
Hey, he's excited about it.
I'm taking a look at, in a fearless tool, what other AD mids are really kind of viable. We have seen AD junglers get matched up with AD solo laners, so wouldn't be too surprised.
Well, if you just put Poppy mid into Galio.
Could be a cook here. I don't want to get too baited into a hover. Man, they just immediately swap it into the Elise.
Let's go.
Okay, Elise, Jinx, probably bot lane.
Kill threat onto Ezreal Karma, but I think Karma's too shielding.
I think Ezreal Karma absolutely dumpsters them level 1 though.
Very quickly. This should have just been the trade.
So I think you have to swap as Weibo.
But if you can get that early movement from Tian on the Viego and get kind of down there, I mean,
And then Talia in mid.
Viego combo, get those resets very quickly. Now they're also gonna
So it is going to be Galio top,
ability out of that mid
which means I think you can take
What else is available in
mid lane.
One of the few games you've actually been able to pick up Vladimir. I'm surprised.
I like this. I like the Trist.
It's not quite Yone. The Ambessa and Jace are already gone.
Okay.
We're getting a Tristana here.
I think actually, genuinely, by the way, if Galio ends up going mid, you should just put Poppy mid and take a different top laner into whoever they take top.
Against this composition with all the things that can lock her down and keep her down, I think Weibo come out with a better draft.
Yeah, it's so tough. They have a lot of resets. I think that this Weibo comp is going to be very slow, surprisingly, right? You're wanting to find that first reset, whether it's with Jinx or with this Viego, but the moment that they stop moving, the moment that they don't have...
This is a good point as well. They've got 2 champs who want the first reset, but they don't have as much burst as we often see with, like, normally you take, I don't know, you take the Syndra yourself and you take Syndra and Viego and then you get that 1 reset. Or you take Jinx and you take a bunch of dive and you get the reset. But here they've got a bit of both, and the Galio doesn't provide... They've got Elise to help with the one-shot.
In an uproar here for JDG with the comeback on the line, with a game 5 on the line for both these teams.
They're quite AP heavy as well.
Game 5 between Weibo and JDG.
Yeah, true. I just think it'd be fun. I've seen Poppy mid before. Faker played it once. Oof, that's so lucky. He goes forward and back at the exact right time. They have no idea Elise is there, and he just lives.
Has done such a fantastic job so far, and I think if you can close it out with one final game on Ezreal and Karma, starting to solidify some of those strong feelings we had for Pace coming in from Chen.
PTA Ez.
Love to see it again. Another.
We're now seeing some lethal tempo Ez, by the way. I saw Dragta tweeting about that. Worth trying.
His name known the LPL for a long while. Hold over, stay over at least on Weibo. If they can come to bear in this final game. Now we're still looking at the level 1 finish.
And it is going to be the lane swap, like we said. You can't lane against Ezreal Karma as
Okay, they're getting gold and experience.
Elise Jinx.
More important for Light and Fun to be able to avoid this bot lane matchup. Maybe on level 3, there's something you can try to do with having access to all these extra spells from someone like the Elise. Yeah, but look how much damage all is taking in on the back end of this. Yes, you'll recall
Well, they are mid anyway.
right now. They're going to crash in this room. Lily's also
So,
Scruggs. Oh,
oof, they're going to get level 2, so they instant force the flash. That's really bad.
this is solo gold now, and we're doing a similar thing that we saw in the last couple games. From Weibo, their bottom side, while they're pulling the threes, or they're pulling the wave in top lane, they're not necessarily trying to push it into the turret. JDG, they want to make sure.
Now, Ezreal Karma can do a lot on the tower as well, but Jinx will too.
Flash over the wall. Shun going for the slam. And hey, you'll watch out for that one.
But you just mistimed where Jun was, because no one's still bot, so...
I deserve that one. Good one, Len. We didn't get to talk too much about the jungles. I thought
Like, can Galio not come bot lane?
it seems like that is going to be the case as Ken gets access to all of the top
Do they just dive 2v2? Oh, I guess you don't know where Lilia is as well, so...
Now we're going to be seeing what more can JDG get from this. While we're seeing Paze and then kind of get some more damage, he'll be able to maybe hit his items just that much sooner. I'm looking towards like 3 items on Jinx is the magic number, whether or not Weibo, and if they're going to be able to contest in this game.
Now after you've seen, yeah, so you've seen like Missing's coming up with the wave to dive for prevent for the next dive, and you saw Viego around mid lane, so you know he's already taken these camps, and it's just really inefficient for him to wait here the whole time.
He's the one who can lose the half himself. Fight's still happening in the top side.
But they might still dive. I don't think they can. 3v2.
And while all this is happening, think about what they missed during that.
Karma is so good early on as well,
So much pressure.
so...
I think the worst part about this for Tian is he's half HP. He's going to be walking into his Raptors, or trying to steal these Raptors. If Tian doesn't get these, Shun is in a massive advantage from this position.
Shun playing pretty nicely.
Shouldn't still got blue. Did he steal blue? No, just did it at a weird timing. Oh yeah, because he invaded first. The split map. He can buffer the stun, but not with the
Wow, the stun right into the flick there is able to grab
yeah,
their first kill.
stun into flick.
Something I feel like is going right here in the early game. I mean, that first cocoon, we were like, oh, is that actually going to be tail of the tape here for the series? Is the Elise going to be so cursed for Weibo? And thankfully they're able to make a play in mid, find some reprieve for Sao, who has been under a lot of scrutiny and I think a lot of pressure from JDG in these 5 games. There's been so many members visiting the mid lane so early on.
I mean, we've seen a couple of his big classic picks just kind of fall to the wayside now, able to find a little bit of them. But I also have to go back and say this is literally a microcosm of the reason I didn't want to see the Tristan, because they have so many.
And they still just don't put Jinx and Elise into Ezreal Karma, because I think you just get really bullied.
Except for Talia exists. Except for Talia exists.
Yeah, but even Talia, right? Like, this is one of the more popular matchups that we saw specifically from some of our marksman players here in the LPL and across the world. Tristana has that ability inside lane. Once lanes get longer,
So Weibo have push in mid. JDG don't actually have that much push in top, but they have some. Ezreal's used E though, so that's already a bit annoying.
specifically from some of our marksman.
And now they're going to get claps on from both sides, but do they have enough time? They take the first one. And the teleport comes in. Ooh, really nice wall.
Oh, Scout! This is one of the more popular matchups that we saw.
Really, really nice wall from Xiaohu.
Across the world, but Tristana has that ability inside lane. Once lanes get longer, she'd be a real big threat as
Weaver's wall. Soon as the only
Scout jumps in and he tries to get the reset.
he will join him in the dirt.
He does die, but he doesn't get a reset.
oh my god, wait, if you were
And he does kill, sorry, but he doesn't get a
If they were
reset.
able to get a single reset, that could have been like going crazy in a fight. Close having level 6 as well. Alla trying to find Xiaohu
The
though.
wall bang,
Gets
it
the
actually
stun.
doesn't connect with that one. Swolsey goes a
Oh,
little
just
down,
extending the
down,
fight.
Kindred's coming in now, Alla trying to get his way up and hit those
Because
jumps.
why not?
There you go.
And then dies.
And that is going to be feats of strength somehow going over to
Jinx
Willow.
Elise into Ezreal Karma is something I have
That deep, we know Scout
to
is
note
going
down.
to play, so
By the way, is Ezreal Karma something teams should play more often? I think later on Ezreal Karma can be really strong. You have to get a lot from it. I think Jinx Elise into Ezreal Karma is a nightmare. I think that's the reason that they're never going to play it. I think they're never going to want to match 2v2. I think Karma should be into Elise. It should be like if Elise has kill threat with her AD carry, then you can maybe play. But other than that, Karma I think should be really strong into Elise. And so because it's Ezreal versus Jinx, I think you just can't. You don't have kill threat, and then you don't have kill threat, and then Karma's just going to be able to like Q you.
So close. Oh my god. Hug is just going to sacrifice his life. And
Hung goes to the tower.
Now, that time, Hung did not know there were more numbers from JDG, so again, another respectful power death there. Just wants to get back into
power
base.
death, is that what we're calling it?
Good death, that's a good one from in my books.
No, I like the power death. I want to make that more. They're called power deaths.
I was so afraid there from the kid. Press W, short change the hop, and I was like, is he really gonna die to Spirit? Please don't do this to my
It was real close, like a half a second longer.
Yep. We get a replay of this, and big things that
Scout
they were
sidestepping
losing out.
like crazy.
I mean, it's great for Scout, but think about what JDG are losing out on the rest of the map. They're not really actually pressing on any other part of the map. Maybe getting a little bit of chip damage on that mid-tier one, but aside from that, I think it's just opening and buying time for someone like Xiaohu on this Talia to hopefully get a small advantage in his lane and then look to move into side lanes or move out of side lanes, especially into the passive and this ultimate, which are coming up in a few seconds here for this dragon.
This is still Dragon number 1. It's started up by JDG. There's another drop spawn in a minute and 15 seconds. JDG just trying to stack up some objectives for themselves. Like they'll be left with their own devices here. Be able to take this one. Oh, next up, Rocket.
Rocket again. Oh no! That was the nerf to Rocket damage as well. How does this happen? Oh, he's just got no smite.
Like they'll be left with their own devices here.
He's got no smite and they don't juke the Rocket.
Rocket,
No way.
No way! We're at 2025.
That's actually really bad.
Lights it up.
Oh god, that is such a heartbreaker. I don't think it changes all that much in this game. We're seeing things come out. Weibo, they do want to play for these next.
And now if they do match 2v2, they're going to be in mid lane so that they're less like vulnerable to just getting poked away in the side lane. I mean, longer lane.
I mean, you have completed Utah Wild Arrows here for Light. Pretty big spike in my opinion coming in.
That's pretty
Now, if JDG, we say this with every Trist team, if they get grubs,
super important, but also
Trist will just melt towers.
around the reset coming out from JDG to try to potentially get back up here. They don't want to give that one up necessarily. Weibo are trying to make a play.
Toggle forward, great toggle from our observers here. It's so tough for JDG. We wanted to see more from this bottom lane player, but I mean, they didn't get much damage on the turret. We think how healthy the outer structures are, and they've been moving so much across the map that I don't think we've really been able to see them actually leverage some of the laning strength. Part of the reason why lane swaps are becoming more and more popular and so strong here. So next set of grubs here. As long as JDG steal one, it's not going to be a feat of strength going over, and it doesn't seem like we were fully committed to this idea.
Okay, they're not going to get feat of strength, but they are going to just, so it's just going to be 3 for 3. So unfortunately, JDG couldn't get the grubs. I mean, they spent all the time on the dragon as well. That's the obnoxious thing. So crashes in mid lane, steals the dragon. It's high value.
It's a thing that I don't think changes the game all that much, but it definitely builds in your mind from having to play a full best of 5 here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, these are definitely mental tactics, especially with how back and forth and tense a lot of games are. I mean, game 2 has been was like the most one-sided game we've had so far. But, this last game was very back and forth. Breathe maybe overstaying his Vulcan down here. He was waiting for Scout to all in him, but Scout just waited until Shun was here. Todd's gonna go wide, so now Breathe gonna go for some alcove gaming. And I don't think he's gonna make it out very likely, as Shun just buys time.
Yeah, and I was dead.
Scout will get his second kill of the game.
And this was the
Negative
strength of the Tristana that I was kind of question mark pinging for what Weibo were going to be able to actually get done. There's been so much focus from Weibo on this top side. They're really avoiding Xiaohu versus Scout here.
So they are just pushing on the other side, right? You put resources into bot side in the fact that you put the Lilia there, and enemy puts resources into top. But he is going to be able to pick up the whole wave, back away,
Yeah, they have the continuous pressure.
and they will get,
The only one left up here. Now he's just being faced on his entire
maybe not first tower.
and now he's just being run down by
How does this happen? They just completely desync. Yeah, they're super greedy. So they're going. They think he's just going to pick it up,
his entire team left him to go to red buff, and now he's just being
and they went to red.
Was it worth it?
Ooh, that's a tragedy.
Getting both teleports going down towards the bottom side of the map, so maybe not moving towards early objectives for the epic monsters. See some pings coming out, just some early skirmishing, get some summoner spells, I think, from stuff early on, as we really have too many objectives to play for 50 seconds before the dragon. I think maybe JDG are willing to give up this dragon just trying to grab that first turret, or, you know, we do have the Herald spawning in 2 minutes, and neither of these teams with a large amount of grubs in their back pocket do, I think, kind of just want to take down a turret. That mid-tier one for JDG is looking so nice.
True. I mean, any of that's standable, but also the feats of strength marking would be huge. Would be Weibo's feats of strength if they were able to get it. Now trying to push this bottom side, they do actually get the wave clear going for them. There's a dragon in about 10 seconds. We see the dragons haven't been the biggest priority in this game, honestly, in the series. Pays was being looked at in mid lane by Weibo. Hung trying to hit the combo. Pays just sidesteps.
One more Q lands there, and maybe I think he just goes for the all in. That's gonna be the first turret going down for JDG, canceling the recall of Hung as well as his dragon spawning. Literally deep vision in place here by missing the entirety of the JDG squad. They have control of mid.
So
They know that they just pushed
when
it
Pace
forward.
can be aggressive like that, it's these matchups are quite good, I think, for JDG. Like Poppy can threaten Talia a little. Please have smite. Oh my goodness.
Look at his face in the player, Kaz.
This can't be real. Okay, 15 minutes in. Where's this first dragon? Okay, so first dragon. You have complete control of the area. Jinx comes in, steals it. Second dragon. You get the tower, you have complete control of the area. And now Galio steals it.
Look at his face in the player, Kaz.
You're 2 dragons down when you should be 2 dragons up. Imagine being 2k up and 2 dragons.
That's a new level, man. That's real bad. But like,
That is an absolute tragedy.
Oh, we're starting objective without Juggler having smite. That's 2 times. No, he didn't have it. No, he didn't have it. It was literally coming up. It literally came up as he died, and now Spider is dead on my screen. So maybe
Wait,
that's real bad.
I think he just repelled down to the wrong area. He needs to repel down to the left-hand side so he can just instantly jump away, but I think he repels down literally on top of it. Only because he gets snared, he can't move.
Dead on my screen, so maybe it's a little bit better.
Okay. 2 dragons stacking, I think, for Weibo, though, is such a big boon. When you have this Ezreal and Karma, we wanted to see them play around.
Okay, so Poppy's bot lane, and no one has a TP because they're TPing to mid, so they probably just play slow and let Poppy take tower.
A little lost here.
A little bit. They're scrambling. They lost their lens and flash from Paze.
No smart from Ken here.
Paze trying to get away. Is going to get hit, but his heal arc is
So yeah, they pushed him away, but Poppy's going to get a load of damage down on this tower, and someone TP's down now,
Dude, he's at level 5.
which is the thing.
He's literally dead. Again, okay, he's going to try to repel. Maybe this is a bait.
And on the back end, Elise loses flash.
That would have been an insane amount of damage. Definitely probably
It's hard to tell. It looks like bot lane tower's almost dead, but last time it was still half HP, so...
happening. So despite the objective going over, that is a really, really low HP tier 2 in the bottom lane that is ready to fall if Tristana gets access to a side lane again. So we're looking at this from JDG. This game is close. They do have a sizable and a full lead.
This is much better from Weibo. When you're behind especially, I don't think you can contest in a different way. I mean, the fact that they've got 2 dragons is just a...
Comes up at the very last second.
It's not up yet. It's not. It just came up.
Yeah,
Just at the end of the
so. I mean, this is unfortunately what happens when you're playing Spider form. You jump in, it lands on directly the center of
Oh my
the blast zone,
god.
and he just goes straight back up, comes back down, and it's a kill going over to JG. But nothing really happens during that play, so.
And he can't move, so that's why he...
Hell became out of bounds.
Yeah, that's it's hey, at least it's a contested game fight to some extent. But I do love to see that we do have a little bit of advantage in this one, even if it is a couple of punts in that direction. But it's still been really nice. These teams kind of going at it again. This is the last time we're going to see these teams before the playoffs here.
Yep.
A lot on the line with this last game. Still a breath of fresh air to see both teams scrapping it out.
And we're going to kind of tap back in on some items. I think big one for me is the fact that Shamu is very close to 2.
Really nice.
Okay,
kind of going at it
it's the
again
Poppy dive.
before the playoffs here. A lot on the line with this last game. Still a breath of fresh air to see both teams.
So they want to crash a wave in and then just try and instantly go for light, but he has both summoners up. So they don't get the stun. Almost, but don't. Now Ale's way too far forward, and now the first reset comes in, and now it's really bad. I think that's... yeah. Cheese would be like, I'm fine, because he thinks he can blast going away, and then he gets snared, so he can't. Then it's like, is this a bug? I mean, this dive is just turned into a disaster. They lost their entire lead on this like fake dive, and I think even if, by the way, that stun hits, you just cleanse, and
Check that replay, because honestly, that stun not landing onto, like, maybe it was just a flash cleanse coming out from him. There's so many small things during that fight that I think just changed the temperament of this game. We were looking at a position where JDG, they grabbed that, they could move that into the dragon, but now you have Otacon up, you have Weibo resetting back out of the map, and 2 item Jinx, Infinity Edge, and Utah Wild Arrows. Let's see what happens here. Alla lands it.
okay, but he would just cleanse flash. I don't think it would just be a little bit more damage.
That buster shot from Scout maybe changes the game because it doesn't allow for Breach to find a flash on into the backline, but I think the damage is already done. Weibo here, they pick the scaling composition. We have some eyes as to what this Leo was going to be able to do, but it feels like Light is kind of cashing in on that carry performance that we wanted to see.
We had a test of.
And now they're getting their 3rd dragon. The first one they've actually done, but the 3rd one that they've got.
Go ahead and take the trade of the Icon. You know, we'll
They
see
do
if
trade it for Atakan, though.
big buff. Bot lane, there is a play. They're on to Alla. He tries to hit him away, but he can't do it. Now he's just dead. He gets
Nice buffer on the
Weibo gonna be able to grab for this. They put themselves on
Poppy ult.
saying 4.5 minutes time, JDG, you have to either win a fight right before or meet us at the pit and look to try to skirmish us there. It'll be a bot lane tier 1, but JDG try to play the map. I want to see what they can accomplish in 2 minutes with this Otacon revive.
I do really like that side lane taking. That's a ton of gold. They're now 1,000 gold in the lead. And look at that tier 2.
This is the other thing with the Ezreal Karma, right?
Pushing is what is the biggest factor in this game, it feels like right now.
Now they're weaker than other
The reset's just going to come out from JDG.
combos.
That was also finished 2 items. Very difficult to kill, especially.
And they weren't able to get a huge lead in the lane,
Right now,
so...
Otacon spawning, and I think the fact that they moved back the timer for Baron, Weibo are like, well, or JDG are saying, we really would have liked to actually have started Baron with our double marksman composition and with Otacon looking to turn. You got a minute left. I don't know if Weibo are going to opt into a fight. We actually saw them in one of the games earlier play on basically pixel perfect timing to make sure that we're fighting on it. And that worked out well for the enemy team, and I don't know if JDG are going to really be able to leverage this to a real advantage.
Oof.
I don't know if
Look at the range on this E, by the way.
Perfect timing to make sure
The
that fight-
cocoon.
That worked out well for the enemy team, and I don't know if JDG are going to really be able to leverage this into a real advantage.
I mean, I can understand why you don't think you're dying to that.
See if they can execute the angle. They got the angle to missing. He is sanctified.
He just gets one tapped.
He's stepping forward. Still has his out of Conchier. They're up for about 45 more seconds. They still have on scout and Shun. They want to find the angle if they pick on here. That's so
Oh,
worth it.
scout
Explosive
jump.
charge, not enough. They didn't get him. They're looking at mid lane. See if they can execute the angle.
Wait, does someone put a blue over the wall and then that's how he's able to jump to it?
He's stepping forward. Still has his out of Conchier. They're up for about 45 more
So he misses the ult, which means misses the stun.
They want to find the angle if they just
Oh no, just flashes. Okay.
Oh, scout jump.
I thought someone put a blue trinket over the wall and so he dropped down to it.
JDG have been trying to make so many attempts on this mid lane wave, but the wave clear between Xiaohu and Light just not enough. And I mean, JDG, what else are they getting on the map? We need to be seeing Scout pushing far. They need to be playing in the enemy jungle. And JDG feel a little afraid. And I mean, even if you do make the play on the side lane, Breathe can very easily match so they can move whichever different members. That's a poppy ult being used.
Yeah,
They
that's
just push out the
massive.
minions, but they don't find much.
Another tier 2 in the eyes of Scout. Mega Death Rocket. Link across there as well. Weaver's Wall also-
Talia like dashes across.
But honestly, there's only one that's super important in these situations, and that's Heartbreaker to get the resets for Tien. JDG picking apart the map. Still a steady gold lead, but nothing to write home about so far. It's a dead even game.
Oh man, so close. Baron in a minute. That dragon up in 2. You see with this poppy ult. Yeah, I don't think I was ever aiming towards the Jinx. It was just trying to get the minion wave, manipulate it so that maybe they get some alone time on the turret, but not quite enough here. And I'm just looking at that 2-minute timer now. Minute 40 here for a soul here. Another Chemtech soul, please, Riot. I want to see something else, man. Either way,
Getting a little unlucky with that tonight, but hey, we're
the
getting close to the items.
shielding feels great for this team. You have a Karma
True.
on the enemy team you want to try to take this away from. And the tenacity, I think, is such a big boon for Weibo.
Waiting on those 3 item spikes, though, for majority members to really feel impactful. The fact that Tien has bypassed the boots until potentially...
So I think even though they've got the gold lead, I think you'd rather be Weibo here, especially with the 3 dragons. But Jinx later on, if you get one reset now, you just run over the fight. Like we say, they don't have that. They have a bit of pick, but they don't have that much damage to get that one reset. But it's still going to be really tough, I think, for JDG. You want to play really hard on the side lanes, and you need to Paze to just play like super on the edge and just hard carry basically, I think. Okay, nice ult though. What does he do? He hits E? So E comes across. Oh no, only hits 1. I thought it hit 2. So 2 ults traded, 1 back and forward. JDG go Dragon, but Weibo can go Baron. They don't though. And Poppy ult is always going to be that threat to just like instantly make something a 4v5 or 3v5.
And now here, as we get later into the game, you're just going to be as squishy as ever. Pace trying to get some damage onto Light could be a deciding factor. Ezreal feels like honing in on that backline.
Not only that, but Scout's on 3 items now on the Tristana. He will be melting your face off. Want to see if he can find his way around these fights. Feels like the sustained damage is much more there for JDG, whereas Weibo are looking for those big picks, looking for those burst pieces.
Oh, okay, so Paze half health Light like instantly.
Reset anyway, so maybe he's trying to be a little fishy here. He's trying to dodge out. I don't know. We're looking at that third item. He wants to get what looks to be a Runon's Hurricane third here, and that was the itemization that we wanted to see from Weibo, and specifically from like get your 3 items on Jinx, come into a team fight, and just get ready to carry. Find your reset, whether it's off of yourself, maybe with this Diego. It's still an open game. I know that the goldie is slightly in favor of JDG, but you have to be thinking, anytime you lose a fight as Weibo, that's either your entire base on the double marksman or the Baron.
Yeah, and it'll go down so fast if Blink and you miss it. All this pressure, all this mounting into a moment. About so many different players because the series has been all over the place, but only one name can make the biggest difference in the biggest moment. When you're fighting for the first seed, when you're fighting for double elim in the playoffs, this is where moments are made. And this
Okay, they're all going bot, and so Weibo also instantly starting the Dragon. Baron, sorry.
As Breathe is already knocked off the table, that's going to be JDG moving in. Weibo are slow at this. The poke
Another teleport's going to come through. Lily is not there though.
is going to go down though. Sound, looking for the reset.
So you just try and get as many people away as possible, but Trist has the jumps and the resets.
Light trying to fight back, but Light has found an unstoppable wall, and all is popping. We wanted to step up before his life is looking for the reset. As we do. Sure.
So this I think is quite silly.
It's still an open game. I know that the goldie is slightly in favor of JDG, but you have to be thinking, anytime you lose a fight as Weibo, that's either your entire base on with double marksman or the Baron.
Yeah, and it'll go down so fast with Blink and you miss
So
it. All this pressure, all this mounting.
we're pushing on both sides at the same time, which allows one person to
Only one name can make the biggest difference in the biggest moment. When you're fighting for the first seed, you're fighting for in the playoffs. This is where moments are made, and this is the starting of the pressure here. As we do see Breathe lock down Baron.
which is why Galio can just get instantly killed. Then the teleport comes in, so this is 4v4. But I don't know how Hang is already super low. Hopefully we'll get it on the replay. Does he just get he just gets chunked by Ezreal and Baron? Is that it? So it's basically like 3v4 here or 3v3 here with someone teleporting in. Because Elise is just dead. And so they all die. And Jahu tries to help Light, but ends up like dying for it.
JDG are looking for the finish.
They give up the Baron, and they even canceled Breathe TP on that play.
And they maybe just
Regrubs in their back pocket, and they don't have a ton of minions. They're probably going to be opening up the inhibitor line. Such a tough fight here as JDG finally come out on top, finally blow open the lead in their favor.
they're going to break the base in 2 places. So I think Hang just gets like one shot by Baron plus Ezreal, and that's it. And that's really, really bad. Because now suddenly we're not even outnumbering on the Baron. You have to finish it, I think. So I don't know how we're in this place, but now we're in this state, even if like he's just a stun bot, and even then he can't do the rest of his burst. And so this is so they can play so much more aggressively, because Elise is not like waiting here to one-shot someone or slow them down or those kind of things. So I don't know why Elise is on the Baron. I think Elise needs to be playing slower, not getting chunked, and
showing up here, and there was a lot of questions wondering, what's going to happen in the place of ruler, what's going to happen when this guy didn't really show up in that Demacia Cup series or even in the first series here from JDG, but the fact that he's been coming into his own, and especially against Light, who's been working at this for so long, feels so good to be paid off. Now JDG, they're in some trouble now though, because they're about to lose Ala for nothing.
okay.
This is right
Hala just dies before Soul. We're just playing way too aggressive. This is not our mid wave. If we're JDG, this is not the mid wave. This is not. Yeah, and then you just get totally rolled on.
And this is right in front of the dragon spawning. That's Soul for Weibo if they let it go.
30 seconds, and it'll be 17 when it spawns. That Ala will have to wait before he's back up and available. Can JDG make magic happen? Even if they lose the dragon immediately with the smite and whatnot, I think there's still an ability for them to turn. But Xiao now, right into the face of Scout.
Ooh, Zhao who just jumps him really aggressively and dies. Oh my god. Oh! They get one. Okay, so like we said, the reset is still absolutely massive. Xiao TPs, he should just TP with the team. And so Scout sees it and instantly goes for him. Missing's just charging at him. So Xiao who's going to just die for almost nothing. Then Shouldn't gets 2-man swirl seed, but the Zhonya's stops him. And Light can just push him away with the with the autos. Now Shouldn't just the Breeze's just trying to turn to get 1 kill. A Scout, I don't know how he gets. He's 3/4 HP. He just goes too far. He just gets stunned. Ah, that's really bad. So Scout just doesn't buffer the W. I think if they buffer the W, they just win this fight. But as soon as one person dies, and it happens to be your carry, but one person dies, and now it's just Jinx is just going to one-shot everybody. So Scout playing right on the edge, but he just needs to buffer that W. If he buffers the W, he doesn't die, and then they win the fight, and I think they win the game. Another get Chemtech Soul.
They don't want to go out without a swing. In JDG, they're putting everything on the table to make this happen. This play comes through, and it's a great denial. I think the amount of time that this buys for Weibo is really important. Because, I mean, this speed coming in. This swirl seed is nice, but who else is there, right? If everybody else is there, maybe. But I think Sean getting a few too many tips from our boy Speaka in the LTA. No one was there to be able to answer, and it turns into those fights where we get the resets for this Jinx.
Oh man, I love this series so much. Maybe the best series we've had in LPL in Split 1 so far, but this is a banger indeed. We're on 4 items for Light, now on the Jinx. We're gonna be close to 4 items for Pays. It's not over, but there's been some serious damage done to Weibo's base.
It doesn't get any easier from this point either, right? Like, yes, Light now
So it's still just going to come back down to this last, one last fight.
Almost finished with 4 items here. Did pick up the Spear Shogun. I wonder what this 4th item's going to be. Maybe it's a Sorelda's or maybe the punch because he is a very, very tanky Galio.
I still think you'd rather be Weibo though. A little bit of a gold lead, but you've got Soul and you've got the Jinx later on. I think Galio is kind of doing nothing though. As a first pick, he's doing almost nothing.
That comes through from JDG. Drop around, take half of Hung's health, and that's not even with 4th item completed from Pays just yet. We're going to get a big reset. Baron on the table in 40 seconds. What do we want to see from both these teams?
Okay, I'm tracking summoner spells here. No flash punch.
Like, yeah, it's flexible and all that, but you're on blue side as well, so they're going to know where it goes before the end. Oh! Okay, it would have been cleansed, but that's actually so close.
And Xiao got his flash. He doesn't have a makeup one. Oh, damn, did you so Sorelda's was completed there for Pays, and Pays just kind of says, oh, this is just free damage.
I'm Ezreal. You forget your place. As, yeah, I mean, both Pays and Light are set up on pedestals right now to be the carries for their teams. As long as Pays doesn't get caught, he does get a little bit damage.
He gets a stun, but doesn't waste cleanse, which is really big. They need Lilia engage. Play super hard on this mid wave, and they just push in with it. Yeah. They push up mid with it. Xiaohu's basing, so he must have an item. He has TP if he needs it. He's basing out of vision though, which is really big. You can't base in vision, otherwise you still lose a lot of power. Then he TPs. He TP'd, but other people are now basing. So he completed Rabidance, I guess. Now you just base.
These are the item inventories you're gonna need.
It's double marksman. They just reset.
Here we go. Teleports to top.
But they just reset and they just take the Baron instantly.
JDG, they've just lost their hope. And not talking about the ADC.
Oh my God, Scout, no!
Pays, trying to pick up the slack, trying to make
But they get the kill. Okay, well, we'll see this because this will be the last fight, I think. So they just do they just call the fact that they reset? This is so bold for JDG. I think again that they know they're in a bit more of a rough situation, so they just insta do it. They do it so fast. But if JDG hadn't Weibo hadn't based, they would just all die. Oh hey Raymond, thanks for the sub. I don't know if you saw the beginning of this, but this has been a wild series. Okay, and this is probably the last fight of a wild series. So they just call that they're based, and it's the right call. Oh, I can hear it, but I can't see it. Hello? What's happening? Okay, I just couldn't see anything. I don't know if you guys could, but I couldn't. So they just get it quick enough. Breathe is teleported top lane. Xiao Hu just jumps into everybody because he has this Sonya's Galio coming in combo. But then they get that first reset on Light. Scout jumps in, but Light... Oof. Light, so if Scout hits Light with ult, he just one-shots him, right? And then he doesn't die as well. So here he gets stacked up. That last auto doesn't hit him. If it does, because that auto hits him now, he would just die. So Scout does die and they get reset. Hung just keeps going to play forward. Oh no, the stun misses again. Oh my god, Tian. Missed 2 stuns in the last like few seconds.
Might have just saved JDG's game, but you lose the fight detrimentally.
Scout, he sees the light in his eyes. He's like, I can try to find the
Scout again.
but it just means that they
If he flashed forward to make sure he kills the Jinx with one more auto, I think he only needs one. Or 1 or 2, then he can maybe W away.
I feel bad for Chunman. He's been missing these spikes all series long. We didn't even get the ultimate from this Lilia. Yeah, they're over the wall, but Scout right here can just again light in his eyes. So bold coming out from a legendary mid laner. Opens up the game for Weibo.
Actually, so insane. As the wall bang doubles
He does get the kill though. And then here this stun misses on both of them. And so they don't get more resets.
We have a fight around the dragon. We have a fight around mid. Baron still available and up for pushing for Weibo.
A lot of damage here for Scout, doesn't have the same survivability, but here for Pays, no flash. Use it in that last fight because he arcane shifted forward and puts himself in a pretty dangerous spot. Flash is here for Scout, and I want to see how JDG's carries are able to navigate this. Tiana's by himself on this side of the map, and you need to be able to pincer.
You've got to do something. You've lost all the snipe fights. You have to do something, JDG.
Just looking.
Big Keeper's verdict. That's so
Okay, now this is going to be the last fight. So same thing again, like first reset, super strong for Weibo. So they want to just play together, they want to just hit frontline. And Scout needs to make something happen, I think. They do have still a lot of damage, but they don't have very strong frontline because they just have the Poppy on the side of JDG. Yeah, last fight surely. The last one was the last fight surely. So Tian's going on the other side. He comes forward to like threaten. He has that E, so he's so obnoxious. Poppy ult does get someone away. Knocks Jinx away, which is like perfect. Now Jhin does not play this well. Oh no, because Jinx ult didn't hit, she didn't get the reset. So no one gets the reset onto no one gets a reset onto Jhin. I think if they had reset, they would be able to chase more and they'd be able to get the...
Anytime they're on a wave here, it's so easy for Weibo to walk in, push in the minions, and look for some of this. I mean, this mid-tier 1 or mid-tier 2 is very low. He's trying to play wherever he can. He is playing with fire with
I absolutely love it.
Oh my god, they're literally just staring at each other.
You have to play on the edge in these moments. You want to take the difference between first and second seed is massive, and that's why there's so much pressure in this final game of this best of 5. We'll see the Elder Dragon started up by Weibo. They have a really good angle here. Shun is not alive for 5 seconds. True Shot Barrage is there. Pace going across. Now they get a Scout got cocooned. They got to try to get gun. The Elder.
Oof, they get Elder. Okay, so Hang buys so much time.
The burn is not enough. Missing is alive. JDG is alive, but they lack the Elder Dragon.
At least surviving that play is
now
a big win for Weibo. They keep all 5 members with this Elder. They've got Soul. Gold is completely even, but we've reached 40 minutes. I think
they got Soul and Elder. It's hard for them still to start a fight though. I still think this Galio pick is kind of useless.
JDG are reaching, I think, more of the apex of their strength here, and that Clem Soul getting that increased damage as well as
Hey Ambridge. Yeah, it's going okay. We have scrims later on in the evening, hence why I'm letting this review go a bit long. And I'm going to take a bit of a break, and then we have scrims at 5:45 as pre-scrim, so
respecting each other in the in-between moments. But we have about a minute and 20 seconds for that next Baron, and it's Weibo looking to push with this Elder that they have for another minute up towards this top side and get priority up there to make it easier.
As we said, for all of Weibo, while most of their games are not the most perfect or the most clean, I do respect how much they are able to follow it
Okay,
out.
really nice ult from Xiaohu.
All for the Weaver's wall. That's all that was used from Weibo. See now, though, as the rebuttal
But they're just getting poked down, and Scout dies. I mean, Hanger's not been particularly good on this early.
Got them a single turret. Same with that Baron. Didn't open much of the map here. JDG have so much to play. These double marksmen are, I think, getting so much utility for the rest of the team. The wave clear is there. The damage is matching as well. Ultimate from Light, just a feeler, just to see where JDG are on the map.
Actually, I love...
Right, we're getting another reset. We're waiting for another set of Elder objectives. Baron is up, and JDG, they need to be clearing all this vision because they don't know when a flank team is gonna come through.
What would you pick instead? I mean, it's hard to say because it's first pick, right? So the whole comp is different if you pick something different. But in this point, I'd rather have any other tank than Galio. I'd rather have Ornn or something. You have Ornn, you have a lot of setup for Jinx and for Viego. Whereas here, like, they had Elder and they just couldn't fight. So finding a way to fight, I think, is... Actually, I love the pre-scrim stuff. Just hoping there's one for solo queue. What do you mean? A pre-scrim before you go into solo queue, or...? Okay, so Scout gets the Baron.
I want to just say, regardless of who wins here, for Weibo, if they're winning, if they're going to win this game, set themselves as first seed. It'd be a great testament to, I think, the level of skill they've shown. For JDG, the stick-to-itiveness of being able to win a series.
Shun still doesn't get the smite ever. You have to teleport on the backside. Okay. Surely, this is the last fight. Okay, so they just do this so fast with the double ADs. Yeah, I think that's a good thing to do, by the way. Give yourself a target in solo queue games. Give yourself how many games you're going to play before you make a decision when you're tilted. Okay, Shun doesn't get the smite, but still, we play those. Now, the only way to engage is just like TP behind them. Shun almost gets one shot, but on the other side, Tian gets insta-killed on this side. Pace jumps forward, but Scout just does so much damage. And Scout and Pace. So they get that first kill, but he kills Light and flashes back over the wall. Now the other champ is getting the resets though. No, but Tian's now got the Tristana. Oh, yeah, so they're going to kill him.
Man, the fight looks so good. Scout jumps forward. But how many times in this series have we said that?
So it's 3 for 1.
Puts his team in a bad spot, and JDG now are going to be looking to claim.
I mean, I think Scout smurfed that fight, but...
In a back and forth game 5 victory.
And that's how it ends. All that tension, all
Like,
that
if he doesn't kill Jinx, they just all die.
Now the final Nexus turrets are up. Shun, he's trying to get the damage on the lilting lullaby target, but you got missing, moving out.
They can't end. They can't. It keeps going. Oh my god.
If somehow, by some miracle, oh my god, Shun, please, don't do this to me right now.
I was just trying to end at 1.
Lilting lullaby wants to go forward, but he doesn't have it. Now he's trying to get some damage down. Shun's gonna try to chase down Breed. He does have a lot of damage. Does not follow through. No mana. He just realized that he's gonna continue to follow.
No, he just runs at them. Shun is absolute psychopath. Yeah, it's hard to do a lot of things with Weibo's comp, but yeah, I think it's hard to end. Because again, you can't like threaten someone under towers, really. You don't have range or engage. Okay, so they ult Talia away. But if you think about it, like some of their engages have literally been Talia jumps into the middle of 5 people, Galio ults, and then Sonya's. Like, that's your engage. Okay, so they've just ulted Talia away. They get out of the pit. They play together with the Karma. Hang loses loads of his HP, but Pace does use his E. Tian's still waiting on the flank. They're just trying to get that first reset. Hang dies. And now, I just think this comp is so, like, it's so hard. It's so hard. Now, surely they win. Surely that was the last fight. Like, you had first pick Galio, and you went for no other engage, and you don't have range advantage. Yeah, I think he has to ult forward, but I think it's kind of done anyway, right? Like, we can look at it again. So, like I said, they knocked Talia away. JDG just play up together. FaZe uses his E, actually, but he puts himself in a nice position. He's going to pick up Hang on this side, but this is the one that's very... Stun on Shin. He still has Zhonya's, though, so if you ult him, he's just Zhonya's, is it? He ults forward, but doesn't quite hit it. And then FaZe is just killing everyone on the other side. I just think if you had something other than Elise or something other than something other than Galio, I think you'd be fine here. But Ornn doesn't give you a flex, so it's still hard to say that. Yeah, it's pay like what runes is this guy running on? Where's the beginning of the game? What runes is he running on Karma? Okay, because also in solo lane, the ult one Axiom Alchemist is really strong on Karma. I think like solo lane Karma, I think is not bad as well. Cool. Okay, much longer than I was expecting, but very, very good series. Super aggressive, as always, what we love to see. I think Elise Jinx, what was it? Elise, let's look at the draft. I think Elise at this stage is so hard. And it's Talia, and then it's what on Tristana. So I'll wait for the Tristana to be shown. I think Elise at this stage is so difficult to play. Like, yes, maybe it gives you some sort of threat in lane, but like any other support, I don't know what supports are left. Nautilus is gone, Leona is gone, Rel is gone, Rakan is gone, Braum is gone, Pyke is gone. And then what about from these bans? Blitzcrank is gone. Blitzcrank would be nice, even though it's against Ezreal. Or you can take Elise and then you take engage in top lane. You take Ornn or something, and it's Galio mid. Because I just think you just need engage. When you've got 2 reset champs, a follow-up engage champ, you can't draft no engage 4-5 versus this. Because they're just going to be so fast and just so difficult to get, all of them, and they've got the disengage from Poppy as well. And so you're at a stage where, okay, Jinx scales really well, Viego scales really well in isolation, but in the comp, they just can't do anything. So it can't be an enchanter either. It has to be some sort of engage, or you have to take engage here, which probably can't be from mid lane. Because the downside is that, okay, maybe against some champs, this would be good because you could pressure on side and then collapse quicker, but Trist is a really good answer because you don't pressure on side. So if you're going to take Galio first pick because it's like really flexible, I think at this stage you have to say, okay, maybe it's bad to blind pick Galio mid in the meta, and we're going to end up with a bad matchup, but we just can't, for the comp, we can't have no engage. So like, honestly, you could play Jarvan support or something. Like any Alistar support would be better. Anything would be better, I think. But even Alistar support, I think, is not enough. And it's also, again, an absolute nightmare, I think, against these two. So for me, you either take a different support or you take a top planer, or even both. Yeah, Alistar's open, but he's still not like enough engage. It would be better than Elise, especially as we know how he played it as well, right? So, you know, maybe it can snowball really well and the whole thing looks different, but still, these two with no engage is a nightmare. I think first pick Ornn is better than this. Yeah, Nico's gone, Rakan's gone as well. Maokai's gone as well in top lane. Maokai would also work really well, by the way. Zac support, honestly, would be much better. Anything would be better. than this. What, like, let's literally look at, I don't know, if I just get up a drafting tool and we look at champions. A Moo support would be better. I mean, all the classic engage ones are gone, right? We've still got Alistar, but I think you have to get, like, as Eric says, you have to get McDonald's with it. So I think you have to go, like, I don't know, a Moo support or something. Can't even go Camille, nightmare. But just something that starts fights, you need in 4-5. It doesn't need to actually be support as well. If you want to go elite support for whatever reason, I mean, Bard would be better for sure. I like that actually. If you want to go, yeah, Bard can work actually. I think. I don't know about the matchup. I think all the champs that are left that have any sort of engage are bad in the matchup. But you're going to just perma lane swap anyway. So I would just take a Moo honestly. Or, like I said, I wouldn't take Galio. Or I would put Galio mid and take an engage. If this is Ornn, and okay, let's say it's still Tristana. Obviously, that's weird because once you change one pick, your mid lane matchup is not great. It's not the worst. It's not great. But you have a way to engage. You just press a button. Yeah, I mean, Elise is horrible against Karma as well. So it's not like they had a great lane pick. Like, they just never played against them. And you would do that whoever you pick. So that's why I'm saying just fuck it, pick a Moo or something. Like, you're not going to lane against Ezreal Karma, so you're just perma running around the map. So pick something who wants to run around the map and engage, but actually has engage. Anyway, that's going to be it for the review. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back at 5:40 or so before scrims. So have a good few hours, and I will see you later.